Jamie Van Dyken.
Do I look like someone that's going to let asthma slow me down?
Are asthma symptoms slowing you down? Call toll-free 1-877-4-ALL-STAR for a free asthma information kit.
You're watching LaCie Broadcasting, WHME TV 46, South Bend.
The following is a LaCie Sports presentation. The Penn Kingsmen have won 4 state titles under head coach Chris Giesman, and they are back in the RCA Dome to meet Eric Moore and the Center Grove Trojans. With wins over Bloomington South and defending state champion Ben Davis, the Trojans have the credentials to get here. And with running back Johnny Zwitt leading the way with 24 touchdowns and 2,200 yards rushing, the Kingsmen defense will be tested. But they have answered on defense all season long behind All-State lineman Jeff Thompson, and the offense has been balanced under senior quarterback and leader Eric Moore. Penn and Center Grove come in at 13-1, both with losses to Indianapolis Ben Davis. Indiana will have a new 5A state champion as the Trojans battle the Kingsmen. It's coming up next. The Indiana High School Athletic Association proudly presents the 2000 Football State Championships.
On this Saturday, it's been our home away from home. It's the RCA Dome in downtown Indianapolis. It's time for the big schools. The high schools going for the 5A championship. The Penn Kingsmen and the Center Grove Trojans, both 13-1 and 2 outstanding football teams. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jerry Baker. Alongside is Bob Nagel. Chris Denary will be down on the field. We welcome you to our live coverage of this game. You know, Bob, you start talking about singular individuals. My goodness, you go down the roster of Center Grove or Penn. There's some great players on there. You just go ahead and pick one if you want to.
Well, I'll tell you one I want to pick is Sam Penrod. He's been a big impact player for Penn. 11 receptions in a year. 9 of them have been for touchdowns, and he's also had 4 interceptions. Big play guy, offensively, defensively, special teams. And the big play guys have made a big difference so far in all 4 games they've done.
They have. You know, you start talking about Center Grove, and you're saying, well, who are they? What did they do to get here? They beat some very good teams. It's their first trip to the state finals, and there's one of the players and one of the reasons why they're here.
Well, it certainly is, and they've got an outstanding lineup, including Eric McClurg, a guy we're going to keep an eye on tonight. 103 carries for 926 yards, and also had 7 interceptions to be among the leaders in the state of Indiana. But, Jerry, as you said, they beat Ben Davis. What's ironic is both these teams have 1 loss, both to Ben Davis.
Exactly. So if you want to look for comparisons, they're right down the line. This should be an outstanding football game. The 5A title is on the line. Bob and I get comfortable. You do the same. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a minute on the IHSAA television network.
Can you find the nutrition hidden here? Your body can't. From St. Francis Hospital and Health Centers, leading the way to a healthier community.
Alice came to our cardiac center at South Campus because her heart told her something wasn't quite right. Thanks to our expertise, she's still listening to her heart. Another cardiac success story from St. Francis Hospital and Health Centers, leading the way to a healthier community.
Today's pregame show is brought to you by Ball State University. Ball State University, everything you need. Visit their website at www.bsu.edu. The Penn Kingsmen come into tonight's championship game at 13-1 behind Jeff Thompson in the defensive line. Thompson, 6'5", 250, anchors that squad. And on offense, Eric Moore is a senior quarterback, 1,613 yards passing this season. Keys to win, they got to run the ball and the clock, try to shorten the game for their defense. Use the big play defense, pressure and picks. They've had a lot of them this year, and they've been there and they've done that. They're trying for their 5th state championship under Chris Giesman, who talked with our Chris Denary. Giesman in his 27th year.
Coach, I'm sure Penn is very excited to be here. Your 5th trip in 6 years.
Yeah, we didn't get a loss coming to the Dome this year.
What are your thoughts about this Center Grove football team? You know they have to be a talented team. They beat Ben Davis earlier this year.
Yeah, they execute their offense as well as any team I've seen. They have the best secondary we've seen this year. Pretty physical up front. I mean, they're no flaws, the kind of team you expect to see in the state finals.
All right, best of luck, Coach.
Thank you.
The Center Grove Trojans are 13-1 coming in. Johnny Zwitt is their star running back, 2,388 yards, 24 touchdowns for Zwitt. And a defense, keep an eye on 77, Jeremy Van Alstyne, the linebacker at 6'3", 230. He comes at you with an attitude. Keys to win for Center Grove. Focus from the start. Don't get caught up in all the excitement. It's your first trip to the Dome. Special teams and defense are going to be important because it'll offset Penn, and they need to expect to win because Penn will not lose this football game. Head coach Eric Moore spent some time with Kristen Eric.
Coach, this has to be a thrill for Center Grove, the Trojans, to be here at the RCA Dome.
It's great for the community. It's great for the school. You know, we're representing probably 100 years of football that they've never had any kind of a championship in. So tonight, you know, we're sort of putting all their names in our hip pocket. We're going to go out and play for our whole school for its entirety, you know.
You're playing against a veteran coach and a veteran team. It's their 5th trip in 6 years. Talk about playing Penn.
Yeah, it's like, from being down in the South, it's like playing Bobby Bowden in Florida State. Coach Geeson is just, you know, he's a Hall of Famer, and there's not a better guy in coaching. He does so much for his youth at Penn High School, and you know, their football tradition is awesome. And we're, you know, it's a privilege for our kids to be here and to compete against something like that.
All right, best of luck, Coach.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That is Eric Moore, who spent some years down in the Sunshine State. Here's the road to the Dome for the Penn Kingsmen. Here's what happened with the sectional. At LaPorte, Warsaw, Mishawaka. That Warsaw game, Bob, was a game that came into the final seconds, correct?
Final play of the game, a field goal won it. And, boy, I tell you, Warsaw had a great year this year. Mishawaka, a big win for Penn.
I was in Noblesville last Friday night to see that semi-state, and I asked Chris Geisman, I said to him Monday, I said, boy, your team played well, and he just kind of smiled. He said, that's as good as I've seen us play. They were awesome against a very good Noblesville team. Center Grove's road to the Dome shows us the way. They had to beat 2 of the Terre Haute schools, South and North, then beat a really good Bloomington South team, 24-14. They beat a strong Castle team, 24-12, and then that rematch last week at Ben Davis, a thriller in which they won 30-28 to offset their only loss during the season. So these teams, neither one of these clubs, Bob, got a free ride to the Dome here tonight.
You never do in the state of Indiana. It's such a great tournament, such a great format. We're looking forward to it. The Penn Kingsmen, and they are 13-1, and they expect to play well in this arena. They've been here so many times. Center Grove, I think, you know, one of the things you say, don't get caught up in the excitement, but also make sure you have that enthusiasm and excitement to help get you pumped up for this game. You need that, and we're ready to go. And a little bit of a strange kicking formation for Center Grove. Penn's aware of it. And now they will break out into their normal routine. And Jerry, the fans are ready. I think we're ready. I know our crew is ready, and we'll have a great state championship game here tonight.
Do we have another game after this one, Bob?
I think so. We're trying to find one.
Our 3rd game of the day. Here's the kickoff. It is heading deep. It'll be taken on the shortstop up there by number 30, R.J. Jones, and Jones will get it out across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. There's a tremendous influx of Center Grove's fans directly below us. Center Grove, located south of Indianapolis in Greenwood, Indiana. And, of course, coming from the Mishawaka area, the far reaches of the state, so they had quite a distance to go to get here. But this is a loyal group of fans and followers, and they are here tonight in full force. Penn will come out offensively with Eric Moore at quarterback. He's only 5'9", 165 pounds, a senior. We'll see Ian Smith, Ryan Kisbro, Brian Post, Kyle Bainline, R.J. Jones, and more at the running back spots. They will use tight end sets, 2 tight ends on a number of their plays with Larson, Young, Barris, and Redmond. And they have a number of wide receivers they have used throughout the season, 5 as a matter of fact. It's the first setup now for Eric Moore. Number 12, here's the give to the fullback up the middle. He gets maybe a couple of yards, and that's about it, and Robert Mullen will make the stop. Here's your lineups, Bob.
And the starting lineup for Penn on offense, Eric Moore is the quarterback, Kishron Smith in the backfield, Dene, Larson, and Young are the wide receivers, but again, you'll see Penrod out there. Barochik, Keller, Pinter, Robertson, and J.J. Simmons in that offensive line.
The offensive line for Penn averages 240.2 pounds per man as compared to the defensive front four of Center Grove at 222.5. So they got about an 18-pound differential per man advantage offense. Twin setbacks now. Moore back to throw for the first time. Moore's got all the time in the world, has the pass up. It is completed. And Dallas Johnson will run the receiver out of bounds. Mitch Dreisbach is the receiver on that play for the Penn Kingsmen.
Here's a look at the defense now for Center Grove. Beeson, Rice, Barton, Farwell, and Spencer in the defensive front. Linebackers Van Alstyne and Mullen. Then you see Gary McClure, Kaler, and Eric McClurg, and Dallas Johnson in that secondary.
That's an 11-yard pickup and a first down. Bob, you think of Penn, you think of a ground game, but Eric Moore threw for over 1,600 yards this year.
Phenomenal young man. He's always been able to throw that football and throw it well.
He's a senior, as I mentioned. Here's the give to the fullback coming up the middle. And again, not much running room. Maybe a yard or less on the play. Brad Beeson, the big defensive end, number 55 for Center Grove, comes in to make the stop. The Penn Kingsmen, their only loss this year was to Ben Davis, and that happened in the second game of the season at Ben Davis, a game they lost 28-21. And we talked earlier, Center Grove lost also this year at Ben Davis on the 15th of September, 29-14. But they got even as they knocked off Ben Davis in the semi-state 30-28 to earn the right to come to the Dome. Man in motion is Ryan Kisrow. Resets on the right side, fakes the inside handoff. Eric Moore back to go for it all. He's got a receiver out there. It is caught. Sam Penrod, touchdown. And that's what you talked about, Bob. You said big play. If there's a big play out there, Penrod's going to be involved.
64 yards on the reception and an excellent pass, and Penrod timed himself just right to run underneath it in time to get it in a full stride, and off he went. And the Kingsmen pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball, pass, and I tell you, Eric Moore aired that one out, and Penrod was so wide open he could slow down and wait for it to come to him, and that's what Penn is. And I'll tell you, Sam Penrod has been an explosive part of their success this year. 64-yard pass completion from Eric Moore to Sam Penrod. That is Penrod's 10th touchdown of the year. And at the end of the game, 11 catches for 425 yards. And just like that, they strike. Now, this is also an excellent special teams unit that Chris Giesman has. Matt Nagy is an outstanding point after and a great kickoff man. He has 63 point after completions this year. Dreisbach will hold on the point after. It is up, and it is good. So with 10:16 to go in the first quarter, Center Grove trails Penn 7-0. You're watching high school football finals on the IHSAA television network.
Reed's has a large selection of the latest styles on quality new and pre-owned Buicks and Pontiacs. Satisfaction guaranteed with helpful salespeople, excellent service, and one great location. We want you to buy the right car at the right price. We're not satisfied till you are satisfied till you are at Reed's Buick Pontiac.
Indiana, a state with great resources. Our most important, the potential of our children and the wisdom of our seniors. Unfortunately, these Hoosiers are also our most vulnerable. Indiana lawyers donate thousands of hours in legal services every year to ensure that these forgotten, often neglected citizens are allowed the same rights many of us take for granted. I'm Spence Walton, president of the Indiana State Bar Association. If you need help or know someone that does, call a lawyer. We've been helping fellow Hoosiers for over 100 years.
Hi, I'm Kelly from Basney Honda with a spectacular no money down offer you can't refuse. Right now at Basney Honda, you can sign and drive the 2001 Honda Civic LX for only $229 or the Accord LX for $279. Sign and drive specials include automatic transmission, air conditioning, power windows, locks and mirrors, cruise, and much more. Remember, that's no money out of your pocket at time of purchase. Just sign and drive. Only at Basney Honda, Grape Road in Mishawaka, where it's just that simple.
Today's football action is brought to you by Ball State University. Ball State University, everything you need. Visit their website at www.bsu.edu.
Well, Sam Penrod is averaging on his 11 catches some 30.3 yards this season. This one goes for 64 yards, and he simply outran the defender in that secondary for Center Grove. Takes it all the way into the end zone, and with 10:16 remaining in the first quarter of this 5A championship game, it is Penn on the board in a hurry, and they lead 7-0. Now keep an eye on this young man getting ready to kick off here. Matt Nagy, if he does what I saw him do at Noblesville the other night, the chances of returning this kickoff are not particularly good for Center Grove because he puts it about 5 yards deep, it seems like. He's got a great foot, Bob.
I think 6 out of the 8 kicks he had in that game went in the end zone.
Went in the end zone, yes. And that was outside in some very cold weather. Conditions here perfect inside the RCA Dome. Here's the kick, and there she goes. You can just forget about it. It's 5 yards deep in the end zone. That's a touchback, and Center Grove will start from their own 20-yard line.
Now, I'll tell you something. Come Sunday, there'll be a couple of teams playing right here. Colts and the Dolphins. I would like to have a guy that could do that.
You are exactly right. You are exactly right. Trotting onto the field, number 15, this Kyle Geiger, a 6'1", 210-pound senior. He has not had a lot of yardage passing this year. 37 of 76 for only 756 yards, but he has a dozen touchdowns to his credit, and maybe more importantly, has only been intercepted one time all season long. They like to keep the ball on the ground. They run what they call a wing T offense. They'll take it over the right side, get a couple of 3 yards.
Johnny Zwitt, the first ball carrier of the night for Center Grove, and here's their starting lineup. Geiger, the quarterback. McClurg and Zwitt are in the backfield. Taylor, Maples, and McRoberts are the wide receivers. And up front, Moore, Johnson, Small, Meyer, and Chris Long is the left tackle.
Chris Giesman said, Bob, that one of the schools up north runs this wing T offense, and he hates to see it. But he has seen it anyway, and that's a bit of an advantage. You can see how they set up in the wing T offense. He said there are times watching the film he couldn't find the football. Boy, a big hit on the near side this time by Chris Gerchik, as Eric McClurg is the ball carrier, number 26.
And here are the Kingsmen on defense. Kevin Violette with all-state numbers this year. Jeff Thompson is the defensive tackle along with Mark Barnfine. Dan Jeans, Gabe Kovacs, Jeremy Klein, the key defenders along with outside backers Kramer and Shelley. Sam Penrod is the corner along with Chris Gerchik, and Josh DeLoder is the safety.
It'll be third down. We'll make it 3 yards to go for the first down. The clock is winding down to the 9:05 mark of the first quarter of this football game. Center Grove getting the football for the first time. Geiger at quarterback. Zwitt, Taylor McClurg will be in the running back spot. Quickly over the left side. It's McClurg. McClurg is almost out to the midfield stripe. Sam Penrod finally chases him down from the cornerbacking spot, and Eric McClurg, who had he had 926 yards rushing on 103 carries this year, breaks free and gets some running room and takes it out to the midfield stripe.
Well, McClurg was gone in a hurry, but look at Penrod zero in on him, and a 22-yard gain has it out to the 49-yard line is where they'll mark it first down and 10 for Center Grove. The Trojans, again, you don't get here by accident. They earn their way against really maybe one of the top programs in the country, in addition to the state of Indiana in Indianapolis, Penn Davis.
Johnny Zwitt over the left side, gets about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Center Grove's average winning margin this year was almost 25 points a game, 24.5 points per game. Let's swing down to the guy on the sideline. Chris Denary, hard at work all day today also. Chris?
Thanks so much, Jerry. Center Grove averages 337 yards per game on the ground, yet they have one of the smallest offensive lines as well. 3 of these starters on the offensive line are brand new this year, but they've opened the door and opened the way for John Zwitt all year long. This is Indiana's #1 rushing team.
Geiger back. Geiger gets a really good block that time from number 70, Andy Moore. And Chris Shelley will bring him down. Chris was talking about the offensive line of Center Grove. Chris Long, John Meyer, Todd Small, Dustin Johnson, and Andy Moore.
Well, the Penn defense over-pursues here. You don't see that much. Violette, 84, that's usually where he capitalizes when they try to run away from the other guys. Shelley and Gerchik come up and make the stop. But big pursuit by Penn. They ran right by the intended ball carrier. And credit to Geiger. He seems to have good fear speed. When they were chasing him, he got some quickness.
But third is the man in motion. And quick hitter up the right side again, Johnny Zwitt. We'll call his name a number of times. He's down to the 15-yard line. Johnny Zwitt brought down by Josh DeLoader, the safety in that area over there. And if you're wondering, John Zwitt, who was the athletic director at Center Grove, is his father.
Watch the way the Kingsmen chase this one down. Now, they know he's got a big game, but you don't want to go down, and they feed him back to each other, and there you see the safety come. DeLoader makes the tackle. But a big gain.
29 yards, as a matter of fact. Clock running to 6:45 in the first quarter. Penn Kingsmen on top, 7-0. The 5A title is on the line. We have crowned 4 champions, 2 others today. We saw an overtime game in the 3A title, and we'll get a timeout taken by Center Grove. So we'll take a break also. 6:34 to go on the first. Penn 7, Center Grove nothing. You're watching the 5A state championships on the IHSAA television network.
What makes a college the right fit for you? I mean, sometimes what's right for your friends doesn't fit you at all. College needs to prepare you for life. Are you looking for a college where you won't be lost in the shuffle? A place where you can get a great education that's also affordable? See how this fits. Check out the college that's just what you're looking for. Indiana State. The way college is supposed to be.
Hoosier Trophy. Hoosier Trophies, when winning seems like everything. Hoosier Trophies, the award experts.
Enhance your image with a unique cut from a master stylist at Cutting Loose Hair Salon. Servicing the entire family, from haircuts to designer perms, Cutting Loose Hair Salon has something for everyone. Pamper yourself with luxurious hair therapy treatments, including deep conditioners, vibrant colors, and top brand styling products. Call now for the look that will turn heads and stop traffic. Cutting Loose Hair Salon in Elkhart.
Today's championship football game is brought to you in part by Light of the World Christian Center, located here in Indianapolis.
Nighttime in Indy. It's been a very chilly day here in the city with some rain as we came in mid-morning, but nice and dry inside. Good crowds on hand throughout the day. It's amazing how one particular school moves out, another school moves into their seats. Nice crowd on hand tonight. 5A title is on the line, and Kyle Geiger's a quarterback now for Center Grove. He gives to the second man through on the right side. A little running room over there, but not very much. Kevin Violette, the defensive right end, a big 6'5", 214-pound senior, will come up and make the stop.
And there's a flag on the play, and I think it might have been a crackback block called against Center Grove, and it's going to be holding.
And that'll set him back.
Well, it's a tough penalty to get so far down into Penn territory. It'll be first down and about 21 yards to go. They'll mark it back from the point of the infraction.
10-yard penalty, holding on the defense. Repeat the down.
So they'll mark it down on the 26-yard line, and we'll call it first down and 21, as Bob suggested. Center Grove coming into this championship game 13-1. As we pointed out, both clubs lost only once this year. Ben Davis was the guy that got him. Johnny Zwitt is your man in motion. Geiger is back to throw, and he throws the pass out to Zwitt, but threw it in his feet. And incomplete pass. Raymer was the defender in the area that time. And that'll stop the clock at 6:11 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, it's going to bring up a second down and 21. And that's probably a good incompletion, as we talked about in our last game, Jerry. Sometimes it's better to throw the ball into the ground and live to fight another play.
Number 3, Evan Hudson, coming into the lineup. Now only a sophomore, seems to be the messenger man right now for Center Grove.
Penn put 10 guys in that box.
Here's a double handoff, as we refer to it, and McClure dropped the football and got it back what I suggested to Eric Moore. That they used a double handoff. He said, no, it's not a double handoff now.
There's one. There's two. It's like double handoff.
Looks like a double handoff, doesn't it? Sure
and
does.
It looks like a fumble and a recovery as well. Boy, turnover is so big at this level, and they avoided one there. You got to believe the Penn Kingsmen with 3rd down and 24 yards to go might send everybody.
They'll set the man in motion, McClure to the left side. They'll keep it on the ground, busted inside the 25 to the 23-yard line.
Got back maybe about 4 yards on the play.
Byron Fine in from the defensive right tackle spot to make the stop that time. And that'll bring up a 4th down and long for the 19.
Well, are you in field goal range here? It'd be about
that's what they're looking at. 41 yarder.
That's your quarterback as well back there, Kyle Geiger. So he's got to be mindful of what could happen.
So Geiger will try one from 41 yards out. He has the distance. Does he have the accuracy? No, it is wide right. So Penn will take over the football, leading 7-0. He had the distance, I think, Bob. He just didn't have the direction.
Well, the officials watched it closely. Just missed onto the right-hand corner, but a pretty good drive and some good time off the clock there for Center Grove. Certainly have won Penn's respect for that drive. But the Kingsmen, again, Jerry, you saw them last week against Noblesville. All of a sudden, it's 7-0. Noblesville had some chances, didn't convert. Penn gets another touchdown. Then they blew it up right before halftime. All of a sudden, it's 28-0. You played a pretty good game. You've had some success, but Penn's defense toughens when they get down there.
It was 14-0 with a couple of minutes to go in the first half. By halftime, it was 28-0. First time Penn gets the ball, second half, 35-0. Game over. They'll try the middle again. Eric Moore with the quarterbacking job with Smith and Kisbro post main line and Jones to help him out. Andy Rice, the defensive left tackle, to make that stop that time for Center Grove.
Brian Kisbro, the ball carrier, came into the season expecting to have a great year. Had a little hamstring problem, worked through it, healed up, much better now, and having a pretty good postseason. Good quality running back, solid guy. Penn, I'll tell you, over the years, they haven't had the guy that runs for 2,200 yards, but they always perform and they always execute.
Donay said wide out. Here's the give in the backfield to Ian Smith. Smith over the left side, and not much running room over there because J.T. Spencer shut him down.
I want to mention our officials for tonight's championship game, and our congratulations to these men. They've earned their way here through good work all season, and they've been honored to be chosen to officiate this game. Richard Bohr, Robert Manick, Terrence Bly, John Goss Jr., and Steve Dahlkamp. Congratulations, gentlemen, to all the officials who've worked the state championships this year. Well earned, and you are appreciated. And I tell you what, if you want to stay involved in young kids and athletics, get with your local association, become an official. They can always use the help. A lot of great openings available. They need more depth and more help, and they could use more people that want to be a part of this great game.
Yep. You won't get rich financially, but you'll certainly get rich emotionally of being out with these young men and women. They can certainly use your help.
Wait a minute, Jerry. I wasn't talking about announcing. I was talking about officiating.
Oh, there's a lot of similarities there, I'm telling you.
It is, that is one of the great blessings that we have being a part of this, that you get to see young people doing such positive things. And so many times the focus in our society today is on what's wrong. Come to a high school game and see what's right with the band. The band members practice more than the football team.
That's probably true, yeah.
The wrestlers, the swimmers, so many great student athletes, administrators, people, the administrators, they're here. They're at their school every night. There's a game, a B-team game, a freshman game, and you can't do it for the money. You got to do it because you love the kids. You care about them.
If those administrators get paid for the hour, Bob, they'd be getting less than minimum wage, I have a feeling.
Yeah,
in fact, the Penn band is here sitting in the northwest corner of the RCA Dome, and they've been blasting away for the last hour over here. Penn called the timeout, by the way, so each team has used one of their timeouts in the first half here in the first quarter with 3:26 to go. Man in motion is Kisbro. He'll reset to the right side out of the shotgun formation. They fake the inside handoff, and Moore's going to roll right side. He's got company, but he evades one of the tacklers. Does not get away from the second. Lost the football. Center Grove has it. They're going to call it, though, I believe, down by contact. I believe Penn will hang on to the football.
Well, Moore was coming forward with his arm, and when he was taken down to the ground, when he finished and followed through with his arm, the ball hit the turf with his hand still on the ball. So you're down by the ground can't force the turnover or the fumble. So when he touched the ground, the play was over. Let's see the call here. Yep, he was down.
Yeah, he was. So Penn will maintain possession of the football, but it's 4th down now and 10. And they will put Nagy back deep to punt this thing away. He averages 35.5 yards per punt. Standing on his own 5. Gets it away. High kick, but not particularly long. It'll hit at the 42 or 3 and take a big center grove bounce, and very wisely covered by one of the Penn players, number 10, Blair Donay.
Well, it's going to wind up being about a 16 or 17-yard punt, so in effect, it won't go down in the books as a turnover, but a great opportunity for Center Grove.
Absolutely. Now Center Grove will come back on the offensive side of the football again. Kyle Geiger, number 15 on your screen, will come back into the quarterbacking spot for this club. Kyle, regular season, had an outstanding season, and coming into the playoffs continues to roll along. He has rushed only when he has had to. 51 carries, 137 yards. Again, misdirection in the backfield, and Geiger back to throw. Threw behind the intended receiver. Kramer was in the area, putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Well, coming into the ball game, Geiger, as we said, very solid. I wouldn't. You can't put him in the category of some of the quarterbacks we've seen here this weekend as far as big numbers and statistics and things like that, but he's a great leader on the field, but having trouble getting started, especially throwing that football, and he struggled a little bit here in the first quarter. Passing on the season, 37 of 76. 12 touchdowns, 756 yards.
Got his whip over the right side. Kevin Violette right there to meet him.
So many of these teams all season long have run away from Jeff Thompson in that defensive line for Penn, and that has made really some all-conference and all-state selections out of some of his teammates because they're running right at Kevin Violette sometimes. And not that that's a bad thing for Kevin Violette. We've also spent a lot of time running at Mark Barnfine, and those guys have gotten some pretty good numbers.
Jeff Thompson, by the way, is a finalist for the Mr. Football Award. Geiger. Oh, he's got company. He's going to go down. A loss of about 5 or 6 yards on the play. Dan Jeans, left end, comes in to make the stop defensively, and they'll move the ball outside the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Well, those Penn coaches come off the sidelines with a lot of excitement when their defense comes up with a big play. And again, this is something we talked about as the key to the win for Penn, big play defense, and they almost came up with a fumble there in addition to the sack.
So Geiger off to a kind of a slow start, partly because he's not getting any time to look for the secondary receiver. If the hot receiver is not open, he's in trouble. So he will come out, and they'll send the kicking unit onto the field. Well, actually, Geiger will stay out because he is the punter. Kyle Geiger, number 15, a 6'1", 210-pound senior. He gets it away, angling it toward the corner. Will it get into the end zone? It will. It's a touchback, and Penn will get the football at their own 20-yard line.
Easy to figure the distance on a punt like that when it goes into the end zone, partner.
You mean even you and I can do it?
Yep. Let's look at the Penn sidelines, and I'll tell you what, they have great tradition. Center Grove, what a great year they have had. And I guess you could measure the quality of these opponents by the only team that defeated them, Ben Davis. And you talk about great programs that have done a nice job not only winning. Winning isn't everything, and they've produced some excellent young men at Indianapolis Penn Davis. Congratulations to Dick Dellahan, another great season.
If you ask Dick right now, he might not agree with that. Here's Eric Moore trying to get a whole bunch back in a hurry. Double coverage up the field that time. Sam Penrod, the intended receiver. Penalty marker down. You would assume from where that penalty marker is, it'll be defensive pass interference. Dallas Johnson, number 6, was in that area.
One of the most dangerous passes you can throw is the underthrown ball. If the defense doesn't see it, the receiver stops, they run right into him. Penrod was open, the ball a little bit underthrown. He came back to get it because he could see it, the defense can't, and contact before the ball got there. So
If it is defensive pass interference, it's 15 yards and an automatic first down. They have not as of yet marked off the penalty.
Wow.
Offsetting penalties. Did I hear?
No. 2 penalties against Center Grove.
Oh, okay.
They roughed Eric Moore, and they also interfered with the pass.
All right, the nose of the ball. The ball was on the 20. Here's your 15 yards. Either way. So they bring it out to the 35-yard line. We'll try to pick up the referee's call if he's going to give us one.
He has to. We have a microphone on.
That's right. We've spent a lot of money on these mics. But he's not going to bother with it.
That'll be a 15-yarder.
And at first down. Less than a minute to go here in the first quarter of this game for the 5A championship. Inside handoff again to Kisrow. Kisrow's got the blanket target. Smith. Smith with running room across midfield down to the 47 or 48-yard line. Ian Smith, 46 carries, 353 yards coming into this championship game. And a quick hitter gives another first down at the Penn Kingsman.
17 yards on the carry as you look at the Penn contingent here. 39 seconds left to go. Head coach Eric Moore of Center Grove, 39 years old. Wife Brandy pulling for the team here tonight, along with his 3 children, including Jackson, who's just 2 months old.
Keep the ball on the ground. Try it up the middle again on the hash marks on the right-hand side of the field. A couple of yards. Robert Mullen, the tackler on the play that time for Center Grove. And that's going to take us down to the final gun at the end of the first quarter here. After 1 for the 5A championship, the Penn Kingsmen lead the Trojans of Center Grove by a score of 7-0. You're watching the high school football championship on the IHSAA television network.
Let's fish. Let's do it.
The Lexus RX 300. Unlike other sport utility vehicles, it's the first luxury SUV that doesn't ride like a truck.
We're out of here. Yep. What?
The RX 300 at Tom Wood Lexus.
What's your dad doing? He's waiting to talk to his insurance agent. Well, my dad never has to do that when he calls Farm Bureau Insurance.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance has a 24-hour customer service call center, an interactive website, and a fleet of emergency response vehicles to provide you with the best possible customer service.
Your dad's funny when he has to wait. Well, that's nothing. You should see him when he calls to order a pizza.
Fall is here, and it's time for the 2000 model year vehicles to go, with financing as low as 0.9% and rebates as high as $6,000. Now is the time to come to Oliver Ford Lincoln Mercury in Plymouth to see the great deals that Happy Jack has. Take a short drive for great prices, a wide selection of vehicles, and personal customer service. So make a trip to Oliver Ford Lincoln Mercury in Plymouth, and don't forget to ask about our free loaner cars, car washes, and the advantages of Oliver Ford Lincoln Mercury's sales commitment to you after the sale.
Methodist Sports Medicine Center, in partnership with Clarion Health, are the team physicians to over 20 high schools, as well as 11 colleges and the Indianapolis Colts. Call 1-800-SPORTS-MED. Methodist Sports Medicine Center, the official sports medicine provider of the IHSAA and its state championship events.
This is Jerry Baker along with Bob Nagel. Chris Denary is on the sideline, and the rest of our crew, which has been in position since early this morning, covering the 3A, the 4A, and now the 5A state championship game. If you have not heard the other scores, we'll get you up to date on those at the next opportunity. We'll turn around and go the other way with the Penn Kingsman in command of the football. Eric Moore at quarterbacking spot right now, running out of the shotgun. A couple of players kept back as protectors right now. Here's the handoff to Ryan Kisrow. Kisrow breaks free into the secondary of Center Grove, gets it inside the 30, down to the 27. Eric McClurg and Gary McClure combined on the stop that time.
Kisrow explodes through the line, but the play is set up by the timing. They've run this type of a play already tonight on several occasions, an 18-yard run for Kistro. What made it work is every other time, Moore takes the football and either rolls out or pitches it or does something else with it. This time he just put it right in Kistro's bread basket and said, here.
Eric Moore, 2 out of 2 through the air, has not put much air into that football. Here's the quick inside handoff, and nothing doing right there as they get right back to the line of scrimmage and no running room for Ryan Kisbro.
Andy Moore, the 6'3", 305-pound offensive tackle, with some pretty good licks on the Kingsmen right there. Oh, they do practice at Center Grove.
This offensive line of the Penn, the Kingsmen, averages 240 pounds per man. Rochek, Keller, Pinter, Robertson, Simmons. The front four defensively for Center Grove at 222.5. Still at an 18-pound per man difference across those lines as they face each other. Out of the shotgun, Moore. Moore sees some daylight up the middle and tries to pick up some ground and may have gotten 3 or 4 yards on the play before being tackled by Dallas Johnson.
Oh, those are costly yards. He took another pretty good pop right there, did Eric Moore.
First quarter numbers show Ian Smith with 4 carries for 22 yards for Penn. He's their leading rusher. Zwitt with 44 yards on 5 carries. Tiger was 0 for 2, and Moore was 2 for 2 through the air. Top receiver, Penrod, with that big 64-yarder, and Griesbach with a 12-yarder. That's, in the first quarter of play. Couple of minutes gone here in the second quarter. Quick out. Pass is caught down around first down territory. May have been over the first down marker, but knocked back by Eric McClurg. We'll see where they spot the ball down.
They will spot it at about the 16, so it'll be a first down by a couple of yards, and that's a good spot by the officials. Look at Moore. Has to get rid of this thing quickly. Full stride. That's a pretty good mark. That's about where he was.
Yep. It's Dreisbach with the reception, the 6'5", 185-pound senior. And Penn is on the road again. The 10-yard pickup gives him a first down, a 1st and 10 with the ball in about the 16 or 17-yard line. Faking the inside handoff. A wide open receiver is Ian Smith, and Smith is in the end zone. Smith catches the pass, completes the play, picks up the touchdown, and 13-0 is your score now with the Penn Kingsmen on top.
16 yards on the touchdown play, 9:35 left to go in the second quarter, and the Kingsmen off to a 13-0 lead. And again, you set up the play action, you dump it off to a running back. He turned upfield, and there was nobody home. Speaking of nobody home, or at least left his shirt at home. Wow.
Matt Nagy, 1 out of 1 from the point after department tonight. We'll try it again.
It's 101 yards passing already in the ball game for Eric Moore.
Out of the hole to Mitch Dreisbach. Snap is back, placed down, kick is up, plenty of distance, of course, and the kick is good. 9:35 to go in the first half. Penn Kingsmen 14, Center Grove Trojans nothing on the IHSAA television network.
Alice came to our cardiac center at South Campus because her heart told her something wasn't quite right. Thanks to our expertise, she's still listening to her heart. Another cardiac success story from St. Francis Hospital and Health Centers, leading the way to a healthier community. At St. Francis, our joint replacement specialists help people with significant hip or knee pain get back on course. How you do once you get there is up to you. St. Francis Arthritis Treatment and Joint Replacement Center, leading the way to a healthier community.
Who's the source for the lowest price tires in Michiana? It's Zolman Tire. For a limited time, Mastercraft tires are on sale. Right now, buy any size, any 4 35,000-mile tires for only $99. Tires priced just right for your budget with 90 days, same as cash. We're your multi-brand headquarters and the place for oil changes, brakes, battery, shocks, and more. Zolman Tire, Michiana's driving force. A member of the Best One Tire Group.
The Vogue School of Beauty Culture is Michiana's finest beauty college and has been for over 55 years. Vogue has licensed professional instructors and offers full and part-time classes in cosmetology, manicuring, and aesthetics. Vogue provides a complete line of beauty services for the public, including cuts, perms, facials, and more. Call 259-5417 for more information or schedule an appointment. Vogue Beauty College at 301 Lincoln Way West in Mishawaka.
Today's championship football is brought to you by Teachers Credit Union. Stop by TCU today and ask about the new TCU Visa Debit Check Card Rebate, or visit www.tcunet.com for more information. Just sign, go, and save with TCU.
9:35 to go here in the first half. Kristen Airy is down on the sideline, and we'll hold on. We'll go to Chris in a couple of moments here. Let's get this replay first off of this touchdown run, or touchdown pass, reception, and run.
Well, he had a blocker he didn't have to spend either if he needed him.
Well, they made that look awfully easy. 16-yard pass reception for the touchdown by Ian Smith. We'll come down to Chris as soon as we get this kickoff taken care of. 14-0 Penn over Center Grove. And that's the last thing Center Grove wanted to have to face was an uphill battle. Here's the kick into the end zone again, an automatic touchback. That's 2 out of 2 tonight for the kicker, Matt Nagy. Shall we try Kristen Airy again down on the sideline? Let's go down to Chris. Chris?
All right, guys, Jerry and Bob, I think it will be very interesting to see how Center Grove approaches this offensive series. Coming into today's game, 76 pass attempts in 14 games. That's only 5.5 passes attempted per game. We've seen earlier in their first couple of drives, Kyle Geiger has dropped back to pass. It looks like they've gotten away from their game of running the football with Johnny Zwitt. Now that they're 2 touchdowns behind, it will be very interesting to see how Eric Moore calls the remainder of the half.
You're right on, Chris. Zwitt with the football. We made mention of the fact earlier in the telecast that Kyle Geiger, through 14 games, has thrown the ball over 76 times. 37 of 76 for 756 yards. When you compare that to the other quarterbacks of the other teams participating in 5 games of the state championships, that does not fare well. But this is a ground-oriented club. Johnny Zwitt ran for almost 2,400 yards this year. So when you got a guy like him, you don't necessarily have to put it in the air. But right now, Center Grove facing that kind of a scenario. Inside handoff again. Zwitt over the left side. Across the 25 to about the 27-yard line.
Gain of about 7 yards in the play for Zwitt. And Jerry, you make a good point. You got to dance with who brung you. That's how they got to this tournament. The other thing is when they have tried to pass the football, and it's only been a couple of opportunities, they're setting up pass plays where the quarterback drops into the pocket and looks around and waits. You can't do that against the Penn defense, at least not so far. Put a lot of pressure on Geiger. What you got to do is have that quick look in, maybe to a tight end or a little drop pass to the back out of the backfoot. You got to do something where you know you can have some success early.
Yeah, they're running up the middle trying to get that first down, and I'm not sure that they did on 3rd down. When they spot the ball, they're spotting it right on the 30-yard line. Gabe Kovac was one of the guys in there, and that will be a first down. The Penn Kingsman coaching staff thought they got a poor spot on that, but the officials were right there and mark it down at the 30-yard line. So Center Grove will keep the football and try to get something going here with 8:08 to play in the first half. They fell behind early in the game. Penn has just added another touchdown, and it's 14-0. Ryan Maple said way out to the bottom of your screen on the left side. They come around this way with Eric McClurg, the ball carrier, knocked out of bounds at the 36-yard line by Josh DeLoder.
Pretty good play on first down, and while they got maybe a generous spot on that 3rd down carry, they don't need any help with this one. It's a gain of about 7 yards on first down. McClurg with a nice run to the outside.
Eric Moore sending Kevin Dietl into the lineup as the messenger man. He'll bring plays in from time to time. You can hear the hitting as it's just muscle a mano, if you will, up the middle for 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust. Kevin Violette, the defensive end, again in to make the stop that time for the Penn Kingsman.
Good mention of the fans. From time to time, you'll see fans in the Penn section with a T-shirt that says Giesman 316. Now, they're not being blasphemous. He has 315 career wins, and so if he wins here tonight, it'll be 316.
That's pretty good. Third down conversion. Center Grove is 3 of 5. Only 4 of 6. Johnny Zwitt will get this one. And it'll be first down and 10 yards to go. Ryan Hill back up at the inside linebacker spot. Makes the tackle with the clock continuing to run as soon as they get the chains reset.
There they are. Been studying the good book. That's the Giesman playbook, I think, in their case. There's Chris Giesman. We'll have a little feature on Chris at halftime tonight. Surely one of the great coaches elected to the Hall of Fame in 1996. Continues to create good players, good citizens, more importantly, at Penn High School.
Eric McClurg, your ball carrier. Zwitt, 9 carries, 60 yards. He's been the major thrust, if you will, on the ground game at Center Grove. Kyle Geiger looking over to the sideline, getting the call from the coaching staff. Eric Moore, second year at Center Grove, 17-6 record. Spent a number of years, 6 years down at Charlotte High School, 4 years down at Charlotte High School in Punta Gorda, Florida. Record overall of 83-13.
Got to be nice down there this time of year.
Yes. Back to throw, pass incomplete. They were trying to come to Zwitt as he made a little cut out of the backfield and angle over to the near sideline. He was open for the reception, but all kinds of pressure on Geiger forced him to throw it really before he wanted to.
Well, that's the kind of time he's going to get right now. And again, he's rolling out, trying to set up, trying to throw about 10, 12 yards downfield. You got to go with maybe a 3-step drop. Either that or, Jerry, you got to sell out and run a screen or a draw, something. If they're going to come with their ears back, you got to make them pay the price.
And they're going to come with their ears back as long as you don't make them pay that price. Ninth play of the drive. Ryan Maples into the wideout spot to the very bottom of your screen, to the left of your screen, almost going back out of your picture line now. Here's the inside handoff. Loose ball. Who's got it? Mad scramble right at the 45-yard line. Early indications were that Penn had it, then I'm not so sure that Center Grove didn't get it back, so we'll wait for the officials to get them untangled. Players indicating now for Penn that they got the football. Anthony Caparoni was pointing that way, but apparently that will not be the case, and Center Grove will hang on. Now, I just went my notes here again. We'll take a look at this again. This is called a counter crisscross, officially, Bob. There's one, there's two. They call it the counter crisscross, and that time they got crisscrossed up.
And I tell you what, Thompson didn't even know it, but his backside kind of interfered with the handoff that time as he had good position inside.
So we're at fourth down now in a punting scenario. Kyle Geiger back, standing on his own 32. Geiger will get it away. Not a bad kick. It'll drive the receiver back to the 19-yard line. And nowhere to go back there for Penn's number 24, Sam Penrod. Ryan Maples right on top of him. He had no running room whatsoever, but Penn gets it back with 5 minutes and 36 seconds of playing time in the first half of this football game for the 5A championship. 34-yard punt that time.
And how's that for defense? Penn gives up 9 plays. Center Grove doesn't get across midfield.
Amazing. And I think most of us, and you, Bob, particularly, since you've seen this team play throughout the year, and I've seen them play twice, are not surprised by this. This is a typical Chris Giesman football team. If you make a mistake, they're going to capitalize on it. You better play to the best of your ability, because otherwise you're not going to win a football game against them. They are just that good. Cross buck in the backfield, and Ian Smith will get it out for maybe a yard, not much more than that. And the clock continues to wind down, heading toward the 5:20 mark here in the first half.
If being overwhelmed by being in the state championship game in the RCA Dome was a factor, Center Grove should be well over that now. They know they're hooked in one with Penn, and really, other than the 64-yard pass in that first quarter, they've played Penn pretty tough.
Yep. Center Grove came into the season unranked in either poll. When they finished up, AP had them number 6, and the Indiana Football Coaches Association had them ranked number 4. Then they had to beat 3 really good teams, Bloomington South, Castle, and Ben Davis, successive weeks to get to the championship game. Here's the pass upfield. It is caught, I believe, by Penn. It was a hand wrestling match over there about the 33-yard line, and Penn apparently came away with the football. Nice play by Donay.
Looked like Evan Hudson had a chance to intercept this the way it was thrown and the way the timing was. Moore a little bit late delivering, throwing against his body there a little bit. And boy, you saw that red flash. Evan Hudson nearly got himself a pick. As it turns out, Donay made a great catch.
Hudson's only a sophomore, 5'8", 175-pound sophomore. 4 minutes, 46 seconds to play in this second quarter for the 5A championship. Penn lines up as they always seem to line up. They are strong on both ends of the line. Ball carrier is Ian Smith again. Smith will get himself about 5, maybe 6 yards on the play before Gary McClure, the strong safety, one of the leading tacklers on the club with 58, comes in to make the tackle for Center Grove.
Well, you see that big line ahead of the Penn Kingsman. J.J. Simmons, just a junior, number 54, throwing people out of the way there.
RCA Dome will be filled to capacity tomorrow. Big football game with the Colts and the Miami Dolphins tomorrow afternoon at 4:15. So we're going to have 6 football games in this place in 3 days. The people who run the RCA Dome just do a marvelous job of taking care of business. Rolling is Moore. Found the receiver. What a great catch by Donay. Blair Donay, a 6-foot, 169-pound senior. 14 catches for 234 yards and 2 touchdowns coming into tonight's championship game.
Look at the time Moore buys himself by rolling out. Kisro protecting, and Donay with a great catch in front of McClure. Everybody executing, and Eric Moore off to a pretty good start. 11 yards on that play. He's got, what, 6 out of 6 now for 120 yards or thereabouts.
Wow. And Penn is doing another good job, Bob, of just hanging onto the football and using up as much time as they want. Moore back to throw again. They set the screen pass up beautifully on the left side to Kisro. But a tremendous defensive effort turned in that time by Evan Hudson, and I also noticed J.T. Spencer in the area that time for Center Grove. So they did a good job of shutting off what could have been a pretty impressive play. They had the blockers out there but had nowhere to go with them.
Well, they call it no gain, and again, it took a little while for this to set up, and the good thing that Center Grove did is they reacted nicely. Kisro, now watch the cornerback come in and just wrap up the ankles. You can't run if you're not touching the ground, and they took him right out from under him.
That's a nice job. Eric Moore tonight, 7 of 7 through the air for 122 yards. They put a man in motion, Ian Smith. Out of the shotgun to keep one defender back in Kisro. Keeping the football is Moore. Moore's got the first down and running room down to the 36-yard line before Gary McClure gets him down.
Nice run by Moore. Now that will keep the linebackers and the strong safety honest for a while after a run like that. And create that area underneath the secondary and beyond the linebackers then to throw the ball. So Moore's setting up a lot of his offense with his talents, and that's his quickness and that 14-yard run.
Penn will have Justin Smith in at one of the wideout spots, way out to the left side of the offensive line. Single coverage out in that area. Offensive unit strong to the right side with Larson, the man, in motion. Now he'll reset to the left end of the offensive line. The pitch back to Ian Smith. Smith going left side. Good pursuit that time. And once again, it's an excellent play by the number 3, Evan Hudson, coming in, along with J.T. Spencer.
Well, the Kingsmen now with 1:57 left in the first half, leading 14-0. And you look over at Center Grove, and you know that they got to be concerned. Eric Moore looking up at that clock and said they could spend the rest of the half on me. I could be down 3 touchdowns. And what would he have the ball? Maybe about 10 minutes out of the 24.
That's the whole first half. 8th play of the drive now with a minute and a half to play in the first half. Very methodical precision effort by Penn. His role, the ball carrier, McClure the tackler. And again, keep in mind that they could come away with something if they could get it even close to the, so we'll say the 20, 25-yard line, because Matt Nagy has a terrific leg, as we have witnessed on the kickoff, and might be able to get 3 more on the board for the Penn Kingsmen. Blair Donay sets wide to the right side, completely out of your picture. Take a good look at the offensive line, now offensive effort. Back to throw is Moore. Moore trying to find it now. He's got him inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. That's Donay, and that's McClure coming in to make the tackle.
Dreisbach that time on the
second reception.
Well, they run the similar routes. Obviously, number 10 and 16. But Jerry, one thing you see about these guys, they're getting the ball right where they need to get it from Eric Moore. What a great leader. Played his freshman year at Mishawaka Marion High School. Played the next 2 years at John Adams High School in South Penn. Family moved to the Penn District. Nice find for Chris Giesman.
He is 8 for 8 from the field. Keeps the football, grabbed at the jersey as he gets back to the 25-yard line by Donnie Barton. And might have got back to the line of scrimmage and might have fallen ahead for maybe a yard.
28 seconds left to go. We've got to stop in the action. Penn will talk it over. You're watching the 5A State Championship on LC Broadcasting and the IHSA State Final Network.
You want great Honda deals? You want great Honda service? You got it at Bob Rohrman's Indy Honda.
2000 Honda Accord LS, now an incredibly low $208 a month. 2000 Honda Civic with value package only $159 a month right now.
We got acres and acres of Honda.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
Your #1 Honda store in Indiana. That's Bob Rohrman, Indy Honda, US 31 South, that's stop 12, Indy.
We need to accept different moral perspectives. There's no black or white. If you want to make it in this world, you got to live by your own standards. Why live by someone else's when you're perfectly able to take control of your own life? If it feels good, do it. America is a free country, isn't it? Isn't it?
Come find truth that will make you free. Light of the World Christian Church.
If you love the works of Thomas Kincaid, painter of light, or have heard of his works, you will find the largest selection in the Michiana area at the Carousel Shop in North Liberty on State Road 4, just 1 block west of State Road 23. The Carousel Shop carries a large selection of Thomas Kincaid signed and numbered framed canvas paintings, framed prints, books, music CDs, screensavers, and more. Stop by the Carousel Shop in North Liberty and see one of the largest collection of Thomas Kincaid in the Michiana area. The Carousel Shop in North Liberty on State Road 4, 1 block west of State Road 23.
And it's hard to believe, but Conseco Fieldhouse just celebrated its first birthday. Time does fly, doesn't it? That's just a few blocks to the east of the RCA Dome. A couple of big college basketball games in there today. We know one of which was Purdue upsetting Arizona in Notre Dame.
The winner today, so
nice day for the folks up north, and I'm sure the Penn fans would like to add to that glory situation. Back to throw is Moore. Moore's got his receiver. He falls down about the 12-yard line. Will they take another timeout with 22 seconds to go? They will. Dallas Johnson in the area defensively. There's number 16 on your screen. That is Mitch Dreisbach. And he was the guy that caught the pass. McClure put some pressure on the passer that time, Eric Moore. With 22 seconds to go, we take the timeout, Penn up 14-0.
Jerry, you know, yesterday we were talking about, and this morning as well, we were talking about the effort of Evansville Mater Dei and their quarterback, who did just an outstanding job and was just almost perfect in the first half. Here's Eric Moore. Now, how do you follow an act like that? So far in the first half, 9 out of 9.
That's pretty impressive.
1 yard.
Penn has 5 first downs on this current drive, by the way. Just to get you up to date, if you did miss it last night, Adams Central, the 29-21 winner over Attica for the Class A championship. In AA, the game that Bob was referring to, Evansville Mater Dei, it's about as good a job as I've ever seen the football team do. They beat Fort Wayne Lures, a really good team, 56-10 last night. Zionsville earlier today and Heritage Hill locked up in a terrific battle. Bob and I just kind of sat here as interested observers in that game. It went to overtime. Zionsville scored on a field goal to take the lead. Heritage Hills came back on their first overtime possession, scored a touchdown, and they win it 27-24, Heritage Hills. And the 4A game started at 3:30 this afternoon. East Noble, very impressive in a win over a strong Plainfield team. And East Noble just dominated that game, final 28-7. So we're up to the 5th and final championship tonight here at the RCA Dome. 9 of 9 for 143 yards for Moore. Looking for 10 of 10. He just throws it up in the end zone. Got it. Touchdown. Yes, sir. Oh, what a terrific pass. What a great catch. That's Donay down there in the end zone. Blair Donay, his 3rd touchdown rebound. 9 for 143 yards for Moore. Looking for 10 of 10. He just throws it up in the end zone. Got it. Touchdown. Yes, sir. Oh, what a terrific pass. What a great catch. That's Donay down there in the end zone. Blair Donay, his third touchdown reception of the season. 10 of 10 now for Eric Moore. He is putting on a clinic right now.
Well, the head coach, Eric Moore, the head coach of Center Grove, is hoping that we catch Penn on an average night. If we have a good night, take care of business. They've caught Penn on an exceptional night, and that's the focus and the execution of a veteran team coming in here knowing what they got to do to win.
Well, when I talked with Chris Giesman at the meeting on Monday and complimented him on the way the club played against Noblesville on the previous Friday, he looked at me with a smile and said, that's about as good as we can play. Well, they're continuing it tonight, at least in the first half of this game. Here's the point after. It is up. It is good. And with 18 seconds to play here in the first half of the game, it's 21-0 Penn for the 5A title.
Jerry, we got a chance to see Eric Moore run the football. We got a chance to see him throw the football early, and here's just a fade route. And Dene sees the ball. The defensive back doesn't. By the time he realizes the ball's on the way, it's too late to do anything but pound the ground.
You know, that's an interesting, that particular play at whatever level, college, pro, a little fade pattern into the end zone, the timing, it has to be absolutely exquisite, and that was about as good as it gets right there. Evan Hudson was the defender in the area, and he just flat had no chance whatsoever to defend that pass. Well thrown, well caught.
Well, we saw Conseco Fieldhouse a few moments ago coming back from our break, and it won't be long. Indiana high school basketball season already underway for the boys and girls, and we'll have the state championships for you.
Yep. We should mention also that, talking about Center Grove, their girls basketball team is ranked number 2 in the state in 4A, behind Ben Davis girls, which is ranked not only number 1 in Indiana, but number 1 in the nation.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. But anyway, Center Grove ladies doing quite well.
Well, the Penn Kingsmen will want you to brag about their volleyball team. Made it down to the state championships this year.
Well, it's fun. You and I talked about it earlier. It's fun being around the kids and the coaches and the personnel at all these schools. Penn has had 4 possessions. They've had 3 scoring drives of 78, 80, and 79 yards, and they have eaten up a ton of time. And more importantly, perhaps to them, they're on the board 21-0. Here is the kick again. This time it will not get into the end zone. Taken at the 5-yard line. Run back to about the 17-yard line by Ryan Skelton.
Morgan got himself a hit on that particular tackle. That's Brandon Morgan, 6-foot wide receiver.
Oh, my.
Hopping and dropping.
Well, we're down to the final 14 seconds. Stick around. A very special feature coming up at halftime. Chris Denari likewise will chat with, I believe, Chris Giesman on his way into the locker room here at the RCA Dome. He's going to take the knee, and that'll be the end of the first half. Well, Penn has come out and put on a terrific display. And the quarterback for the Penn Kingsmen, Eric Moore, has been perfect in the field. And they're passing and running, well organized offensive and defensive efforts. Chris Giesman now making his way over to Chris Denari. We'll get them together before we take our halftime break. 21-0 Penn. And I'll bet you Chris is not happy. What do you think, Bob?
Well, I got too much respect for Center Grove.
Now, we're not making fun of him.
We're not making
fun
of him.
He is.
Exactly.
He's a Hall of Famer. Let's go down now, if we can, to Chris Denari and get the thoughts of one of the greats, Chris Giesman.
Here with Coach Giesman. Coach, a pretty efficient 24 minutes of football.
Well, we're playing about as good as we can play right now. I just hope we can keep it up for another half.
Talk about your quarterback, Eric Moore. He's been sensational here in the first half.
Hey, he's been sensational all year. He's one of the big reasons we're here. I mean, it's a team game, but he's really given us a lift.
Finally, what do you tell your kids in the locker room at the half?
Well, they can score in a hurry. They got some great running backs. I mean, we're just going to... This game's going to be 0-0 in our estimation.
All right, best of luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Chris Giesman as the Penn Kingsmen have a 21-0 halftime lead. Back to Jerry and Bob in the booth.
All right, Bob. That was a good good impression on your part.
We got to treat it like it's nothing.
Back to the halftime festivities in a minute.
Okay, class, tomorrow night is college night. Think about your needs.
I need to be challenged.
I need,
need to be my own boss. I need to be his boss, too.
For the many stages of your life, Girard Homes will take you full circle. Whether you're building your first home, need more home for your growing family, or want to downsize, Girard Homes will customize to fit your individual lifestyle with attention to every detail that only 25 years of experience can bring. So whatever stage of life you're in, call Girard Homes at 258-5084 and discover the natural beauty of a Girard home. That's 258-5084.
For some of our customers, getting to Martin's can be pretty hard. So our bus goes every week to pick them up.
Be careful now.
We bring these folks right to the store, give them a hand when they need it. Then we go with them and help get their groceries home. Some of our neighbors have been shopping Martin's for almost 50 years.
Be safe for this, sir.
Providing this service is just one way we can thank them for their loyalty.
We're back at the RCA Dome at halftime. The Penn Kingsmen rolling over Center Grove 21-0, but we've got another half to go, so stay with us. The Penn Kingsmen bring a lot of experience into the Dome today with head coach Chris Giesman, one of the state's all-time best. Won't admit to it easily, but it's the experiences and the relationships that have made it and kept it fun. The Penn Kingsmen rolled past Noblesville last week to make it to the 5A state championship this year. A chance for win number 5 for Chris Giesman. His first came in 1983, and he's continued to win through the 90s.
We're very proud of the fact that we've been to the Final Four 6 straight years. There's very few schools that can say that in any sport, and we're proud of that. And of course, we're just a field goal away from being in the Dome 5 straight years.
Since taking over at Penn in 1974, Chris Giesman has stayed with his philosophy of growing the program and growing the kids.
I think that character is almost as important, if not more so, than talent. I really do, because there's a lot of things that happen in the course of the football season. When you start, it's too hot. When you finish, it's too cold. And you know, people are trying to knock you down every Friday night, and you know, you got to have good citizens. And I think we pride ourselves at Penn that we have really good kids playing football here. We involve a lot of kids. We play 50 in every game we've ever been in, usually more, but at least 50. We cater to kids. We play a lot of kids. I myself can think like a teenager thinks, I feel, and that kind of governs a lot of decisions I make. I just talked to a wife of an ex-player the other day, and she mentioned that football brought her husband and all their friends together, and now they're all back together coaching Rocket League. And I said even the players that have daughters, they're cheerleaders in the Rocket League, but she says they're all still together, live close together, still socialize together. It all started with Penn High football, and we have a lot of that, and yeah, I'm proud of that.
In recent years, the Kingsmen have built a great rivalry with Indianapolis' Ben Davis and their veteran coach, Dick Delahan. It's been a relationship built on respect.
Both programs have been characterized by great defensive coordinators. Over the years, the philosophical concept that he subscribes to, and so do I, is you got to stop people first. You got to have a solid defense, and you got to have a good quality defensive coordinator and a great defensive staff. And you start there, and generally speaking, you put your best football players on the defensive side of the ball, and you've got to stop the opponent to have a chance to win. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. And Coach Giesman has been consistent. You know, he's a guy that's been copied over the years by a lot of different coaches. And that's because they know how intelligent he is, and they know how he gives you the country bumpkin type of appearance and attitude sometimes. But inside there, he really knows what he's doing.
Of course, the respect is mutual between two of the state's best coaches.
Some people are jealous. They say he's got a tremendous administrative commitment to the program there. And he's got some things that we don't have and a lot of people don't have. But the way I look at it, it takes somebody to implement that, somebody to put it all together, and somebody to make it pay off, and that's Dick. So I think without a doubt he's one of the top coaches in the state of Indiana.
The state titles have been great, but some of the best years were spent coaching his sons.
They both had a lot of success, and they were both able to play football in college. I found out one thing, and if the players on the team think you're treating your sons fair, it doesn't make any difference what anybody else says. And, you know, I always did. As a matter of fact, some players thought I was a little too harsh on my own sons because they were my sons.
So Chris Giesman may or may not win another title at Penn. It won't change his approach to leading the Kingsmen.
The only thing that people told me I made mistakes on, some of my friends, I've never thought more than 1 year ahead. I had a lot of my friends in coaching that said I want to be here in 10 years and this and that, and I just really, I never thought more than a year ahead, and I kind of enjoyed the present, and I really enjoyed the time at Penn.
The Indiana High School Football Championships. It's been a great run.
I was on a committee way back when to help put the playoffs together, and at the time, a coach in Fort Wayne asked the commissioner at that time if they should cancel their city championship, because playing only 9 games, it hurt them, the computer pool that was used at that time, compared with teams that played 10 games. And the commissioner said, no, I wouldn't cancel it yet. He said, I don't think the people of Indiana will support a football tournament. And it just shows how wrong he is. Our tournament now ranks, our state finals weekend, ranks the top 5 national attendance every year.
There's a tremendous mutual respect there. There's a tremendous admiration, I think, on his part and my part in terms of we respect them and they respect us, and he and I are good friends, and we've learned a lot from each other.
Chris Giesman and his Penn Kingsmen, a great part of Indiana high school football. Boy, not hard to find footage of Chris Giesman in the RCA Dome. He's been here many times trying to win his 5th state championship. He's a half away. Center Grove will try to rebound when we come back on the Indiana High School Championship Network.
What makes a college the right fit for you? I mean, sometimes what's right for your friends doesn't fit you at all. College needs to prepare you for life. Are you looking for a college where you won't be lost in the shuffle? A place where you can get a great education that's also affordable? See how this fits. Check out the college that's just what you're looking for. Indiana State. The way college is supposed to be.
Nothing calms your nerves quite like smoking. From St. Francis Hospital and Health Centers, leading the way to a healthier community.
Our Cancer Care Center at St. Francis has the most advanced cancer-fighting tools available. But our mission is to help keep you from needing them. St. Francis Hospital and Health Centers, leading the way to a healthier community.
It's the Lucky 7 used car sale at Don Meadow, Pontiac, and Jeep. Put just $7 down. $7 pays the first payment, and $7 fills the gas tank. Choose from a huge selection of pre-owned cars and trucks, all at bargain prices. Hurry to the Lucky 7 used car sale and get low monthly payments with just $7 down. $7 pays the first payment, and $7 fills the tank with gas this Wednesday through Saturday at Don Meadow, Pontiac, and Jeep, Lincoln Way East in Ironwood and South Bend.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Teachers Credit Union. Stop by TCU today and ask about the new TCU Visa Debit Check Card Rebate, or visit www.tcunet.com for more information. Just sign, go, and save with TCU.
Terry Baker along with Bob Nagel and Chris Dedary at halftime for the 5A state championship. It's been all Penn. The Kingsmen up 21-0 at halftime for this 5A championship. Pretty much what we had expected from Penn. We expect for more out of Center Grove. We'll see what they come up with in the second half. Bob, let's take a look at the highlights, and strangely enough, they're all on the Penn side of the football.
Well, it didn't take long to get going in the first possession. Actually, the fourth play of the game, 64 yards, a completion from Eric Moore to Sam Penrod and Eric Moore would finish the first half 10 out of 10, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns. And that was the longest. Here's the next one. This made it 14-0. He hooks up with Ian Smith with 9:35 to go in the first half, 16 yards in the score. And then just before halftime, 18 seconds left, the fade route. And Dene is there for the catch. Blair Dene pulls it in for the touchdown, and the Kingsmen lead at 21-0 at halftime. And it's not because Center Grove isn't giving their best effort. 62 first half yards by Johnny Zwitt. They're going to need some scoring to get back in this ball game in the second half. If you look at the numbers, first downs favoring Penn 13-4. Rushing yards, as we said, favoring Center Grove. Passing 156-0. Turnovers have not been a factor. The penalties, not a big factor, but the fact is that Eric Moore's 10 for 10 first half performance, more than anybody could have expected, even Chris Giesman, and more than Center Grove could handle. They'll have to get it going here offensively in the second half. 21-0 the halftime score. Back in a minute on the IHSA television network.
Save money, save time, improve your health, reduce stress, entertain dinner guests. That's fast, that's fresh, that's marsh.net. That's marsh.net.
One click gets you there. Marsh.net. Shop online for groceries, gifts, and health items with recipes and savings for the whole family.
That's fast, that's fresh, that's marsh.net. That's marsh.net.
The days get pretty hectic around here, so maybe you wouldn't think I have time to read the South Bend Tribune. But I need to know what's going on, and the Tribune is the best place to find out. I can read it when I have the time. It doesn't take me long to catch up on the local news, check out the sales. I'm a great budget juggler. I even discover special things we can all do together as a family. Finding what I need to know in my Tribune takes no time at all.
The South Bend Tribune. Discover what's in it for you.
The leader in this area's housing market, More and More Housing. We're the exclusive dealer of Fairmont homes in St. Joe County. These beautiful homes are built in Napanee by the industry's finest craftsmen. You'll get the complete package from your new home and garage to the land to put it on. And as always, we offer the most value per square foot. Then back it up with our award-winning 5-star construction and service departments. Showing tomorrow's homes today, More and More Housing, 1649 East McKinley at the Log Home, Mishawaka.
Welcome back to the RCA Dome, everybody. 21-0 at halftime for the 5A state championship. Center Grove's Trojans have arrived back on the field. We await the arrival of Eric Moore, the head coach of Center Grove, to get his thoughts. You heard from Chris Giesman on the way to the locker room. Center Grove now with a real uphill struggle, trailing by 3 touchdowns and having nothing on the air, nothing through the air. So let's go down now to Chris Denary.
Thanks, guys. Coach Moore, I guess talk about what you told your team in the locker room at the half. You're down 3 touchdowns.
Hey, well, we can't give up. We're not going to give up. We're going to come back. They found out we had an injury we were hiding, and a young kid had to get in the game, and it cost us there. And we're going to make up for that in the second half. We've got to do a better job containing possession now. But we got enough time to contain possession and put 3 scores on the board. But the big thing is we got to tackle them. They're beating us up front with the Sturge. Great football team. We hope we can make a great game of it. We're not going to quit. We're going to keep going.
All right, best of luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Eric Moore, as the Center Grove Trojans have a lot of work to do. Let's throw it back up to you guys in the booth.
Well, he has a winning record that's very impressive. Over 6 years as a head football coach in Florida and at Center Grove. His second year at Center Grove, 83-13. So he has a feel for what it takes to get the job done. But he's got his hands full with a very good Penn Kingsman football team. Let's swing back down to the field now. Well, we'll go back down in just a moment. Now let's swing back down now. Chris is standing by with the commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
Thanks, guys. With Blake Kress, the first-year commissioner of the IHSA. What a day here in the Dome.
Exciting for me, being the first time, and new teams that haven't been here before. Real good matchups. It's been a great day.
We're going to crown 5 new state champions. Nobody repeated from a year ago.
Well, Penn could still repeat. Well, Ben Davis won that. 5 new state champions. That's right. Good point.
Talk about the Dome here today. We have seen some great crowds, and here this Center Grove and Penn crowds are just unbelievable here.
Certainly better be here than outside today, and good weather in here no matter what. But we've had great crowds. Everybody's sold a lot of tickets in advance, and there's been a lot of enthusiasm, and it's real exciting to be a part of, whether you're in my position or any other position. But the crowd that Center Grove has here in Penn is, for one high school game, is a great crowd.
Blake, you were a longtime associate commissioner. You've now stepped into the #1 role in the state. What's it been like for you here in year one?
Well, things have gone amazingly smooth. I'm really pleased that they've gone as smooth as they have, and the biggest difference I notice is there's more demand on my time, but other than that, it's been real nice.
This has been a wonderful experience to have the RCA Dome here, where we just talk. You don't have to worry about the elements. It's not very nice outside. I know the teams look forward to coming here.
Well, it's a real honor for them to come here because it's not something they want that they get an opportunity to do very often, so coming here is real exciting for them. And I've been reading about results in other states where the weather's been bad and it's been cold, and it affects your crowd and it affects everything about the game.
Well, the fall sports are now coming to a close with football. We now move into the winter. We have wrestling, we have swimming, and we'll have basketball again at Conseco Fieldhouse.
In fact, we're going to have both boys and girls at Conseco Fieldhouse this year and see how that goes. And with the girls, it's going to be a big week of basketball because the Big Ten's going to be there Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. They're taking all Saturday so we can have our state finals on Saturday.
This has been a busy fall for your staff, from Jim Russell in sports information to all your associate commissioners. And I know after this week is done, you'll take a little bit of a breath and get ready for the winter.
December is one of the nice months in our office because there is a little bit of a break between the fall and the winter. But some of the months get pretty hectic.
Blake, thank you very much for being with us. Great day today here in the Dome.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, Blake Rest, the commissioner of the IHSAA, our guest here down on the sideline. Let's throw it back up to Jerry and Bob.
All right, our thanks to Blake Rest. He's been really, really good to us. And I talked to Bob Gardner, the commissioner who preceded Blake in that department. He is also here today. He's moved up to the national level. And Gene Cato, who was the commissioner before that, I've talked to Gene a couple of times, who's enjoying retirement, may even be here somewhere in the crowd tonight, a terrific fan of high school sports. And Chris mentioned Jim Russell, and I want to thank Jim also, and I think you do too, Bob. Boy, what a job he has done from a media standpoint. He has turned that department inside out, and it's just done a marvelous job, and we appreciate his help and enthusiasm and encouragement.
Well, if you have any questions about the IHSA and their intent, it's to make this the most enjoyable experience for the kids, and that's what it's about.
Here's the kickoff to begin the second half. It'll come up short, take a little stumbling act at the 5-yard line, but taken by Johnny Zwitt, and Zwitt will get it out across the 25. He'll mark it down at about the 28-yard line. And Alex Sandroni, an inside linebacker, backup inside linebacker on special teams, he is credited with the stop. Now we'll see what Kyle Geiger can do. We talked about his numbers in the first half. He only put the ball in the air 3 times, did not complete anything through the air. Bob, are you of the opinion that they've got to go in the sky in the second half of this game?
I think what's going to be interesting here early on is maybe a 21-0 deficit at halftime has everybody in the house thinking ball game's over. What that could do is that could really loosen up Center Grove. In other words, hey, everybody's giving us up for dead. Let's go out and just play loose, have some fun, make some plays, and all of a sudden, you know, you get a break, somebody drops a pass or a punt, you can get right back in this thing. And I tell you what, Eric Moore has come too far and done too well with this team to fold the 10 at 21-0. I expect Center Grove to make a good effort here in the second half.
Johnny's with the ball carrier now, 11 carries for 64 yards. In the game tonight, he's the leading ball carrier for Center Grove. Ian Smith with 33 yards on 7 carries. Ryan Kisrow 5 carries and 20 yards. And of course, Moore, the quarterback of Penn Kingsman, 10 for 10 for 156 yards and 3 touchdowns. We got a little hoof problem out there right now. They're going to get the shoe put back on big old Andy Moore, 6'3", 305-pound senior. That's the reason the play has come to a halt momentarily.
Got to get some of the tape off that thing. Now get it back on there. Kids all wearing shoes that they haven't worn before. Obviously, there aren't many opportunities to play on the carpet. I think Penn has a whole supply room full of shoes for the carpet. They've been used to being here, but for Center Grove, this is new, and it's a great experience. They came through such a tough road to get here. That's why I say they're gonna do some things here in the second half.
They'll try the left side, fumble, but was he down? We'll wait till the officials are not indicating he was down. They're indicating it may be a fumble and belonged to the Penn Kingsman. That is exactly what it is. It looked for just a moment as though the runner was down by contact and had lost the football after being down, but the official right there says otherwise. We'll take a look at it again.
Going to be recovered by Mark Bauernfeind, and let's see. He had everybody fooled. Jeans reaches in, strips that ball. It was out of there.
Good call. McClurg was the ball carrier, and Penn gets the turnover. And boy, Bob throughout the day in the 3 of the 4 and now the 5. The turnovers have been such a major factor as they are at any level, whether it's high school, college, or pro.
Well, I thought Center Grove would do something in the second half. I wasn't hoping for a turnover, but for the Penn Kingsmen, another great opportunity.
They move Kisro out to the right side, set him up again. Here's Moore trying to keep his spring intact. Will pull it in and tuck it away and run. He'll get the first down to the 25. He'll be hog-tied about the 20, about the 18-yard line. They'll finally run him out of bounds. And that's the thing that makes Eric Moore so dangerous. If he can't find the receiver, he's not going to force the issue, and he will take off. And everybody had floated to one side of the field. He went the other way.
Well, and he let the receivers go and go and go downfield, which takes away the secondary. Now you're trying to outrun linebackers, and he's able to do that. And Eric Moore, I tell you what, when he has his good game, Jerry Baker, 200 yards passing, about 60 yards rushing. And that's plenty of offense when you've got other talented players around you like Kisro and Donay. Dreisbach's done a nice job tonight, and of course Sam Penrod, who we said was special.
25 yards on that run. Over the left side, this time Ian Smith. And Smith will himself get about 5 or 6 yards on the play. Jeremy Van Alstyne, the linebacker, one of the top tacklers of the 115 coming into the game, will make the stop, and there's a penalty marker down. Indications are it's against Penn.
Holding will be the call. This will bring the ball back out around the 30-yard line. And say right now, anything at all that creates momentum for the red team is going to be good for Center Grove. And you never know what it could be.
Holding, 10-yard penalty, repeat the down.
Ball out to about the 26-yard line. Again, our thanks to all the administrators who helped us so much with their cooperation and preparation for the game, and Ben Karaziak, the athletic director at Penn High School. These guys work overtime, the administrators. When your team goes to the state finals, that usually means a lot more work.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the guys Monday about that, some of the leagues about that. And they said, yeah, it is a lot of work, but it beats the alternative.
Absolutely.
First penalty of the game against, now an encroachment penalty. A linebacker for Center Grove came busting up there. I think is it Hudson? No, it is not. It's 34, Gary McClure.
Dead ball foul, encroachment on a defense. 5-yard penalty.
So the 5 they lost, they'll get back.
Also, we mentioned John Zwitt, the athletic director at Center Grove. We appreciate his help. And Principal Jim Mervilde from Center Grove happens to be from Mishawaka. So he knows all about Penn High School.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Now the clock starts to go again, down to 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Penn with a 21-0 lead in the third quarter. Inside handoff again, this time to Kisro.
Got about 3 or 4 back.
Yep, pretty much back to the original line of scrimmage. Not quite there. It'll be second down and 11. Spencer at the stop that time for Center Grove.
Center Grove looking for somebody to come up with a big play. And we mentioned early on that Eric McClurg is one of those players. And the fact that you haven't heard Jeremy Van Alstyne's name a lot tonight means that Penn is probably doing a pretty good job of running away from him.
Tight ends on both sides of the line. The pitch back and the reverse coming the other way. Not much running room that time by Sam Penrod.
And we got a flag on the play, Jerry, and it looks like it'll be blocking in the back or clipping. And either way, it's going to move Penn back outside the 25-yard line out to about the 30.
It is a clip against Penn.
And so it'll be second down and about 25 yards to go. When Penn is moving back here, you say, well, it's taking them out of field goal position.
Flipping on the offense, 15-yard penalty.
We witnessed a great exhibition here at halftime of.
Before the Penn team came out, I said to Bob, hey, take a look out there. Matt Nagy was out on the field, and Bobby was kicking those things from, what we have him at, 58 yards. 58 yards. Now, it's a little different when you got 11 guys trying to ram it down your throat, but he was hitting from the 48-yard line, meaning the 58-yarder. And he walked back there like he knew right where his distance was. So he does have that kind of a foot, but that's really going to stretch it. Eric Moore still running this ball club as he has since the outset. He's been perfect through the air. Man in motion, O'Donnell. And something happened again, and it's almost got to be against Penn again. I'm not so sure Pinter didn't. Yes, it's a procedure call. I'm not so sure Mike Pinter, the center, didn't make some kind of a motion with the football.
And it was a false snap.
Yeah.
Call.
Yep.
Looked like the timing was off a little bit on that play. I'm going to guess that Eric Moore might have been trying to audible into something.
Could have been.
He put O'Donnell in motion, and O'Donnell ran out of room on the far side well before the snap was attempted, and then it seemed like Pinter wasn't quite sure. So now it's second down, and I don't know, maybe they're trying to get to a 58-yarder.
I don't think that's what Chris has got in mind, to tell you the truth. 3 minutes gone here in this third quarter. Eric Moore is going to try to put it in the air again. He will, and this time it is incomplete and almost intercepted over there. The defensive play of Dallas Johnson. He darn near had the pick, but he couldn't hang on to the football. Trying to go to Donay in that area. They had set Donay out wide to the right side.
Good pressure from Ryan Skelton that time, and the ball just a little bit to the sideline part of the receiver's route, and a near interception there by Dallas Johnson. I like the fact that the seniors are starting to make some plays here, and they, you know, when you've got a lot invested, it's hard to walk away from it. Center Grove coming up with a good defensive stand here. It's still 9 minutes to go, third quarter, so there's time. It's just 21-0. That's plenty of a hole to be in, but if they can stop Penn here, get that football back.
They got to hustle. The game clock is down to, play clock down to 1 second. They get it away, and Moore's going to throw for the end zone. He's got a receiver out there, but it's incomplete. He had Sam Penrod, who had gotten behind the two defenders in the area. Matt Kaler was one of those back there. He had gotten around Kaler, but the pass was out of his reach.
Well, guess where they're at, partner. We talked about a 58-yard field goal.
They
Ball's
surely
at the 41.
Would they? That would be just about a 58-yarder. Nah, they're not going to try it, are they?
Nagy is on the field. I'm not sure he's also the
punter.
The punter.
Yeah, okay. Nagy is averaging right at 36 yards per punt.
Don't think he wouldn't like to try one.
Oh, I bet he would. if he could have talked Chris into it, he probably would have tried it.
Good stop by Center Grove. Good place to start.
Here's the punt, trying to pooch it up and keep it inside the... well, in fact, that's not going to be a very good kick. The angle is not particularly good. The official trying to get it lined up now. He's at the 20. That's about where they're going to mark it, just shy of the 20-yard line.
Chris Denary could have had that.
Yes, he could have.
Made no effort at all to go for that ball.
But we haven't seen much effort the whole day, come to think of it. We'll take a timeout. Penn 21-0 over Center Grove for the 5A title on the IHSAA Television Network.
These days, Americans are busier than ever. They're sleeping less and working more. And while the commitment to our jobs has made us more productive, it also means that we have less time to take care of life's other responsibilities. Your Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent is working hard too, so that planning your family's financial future is the easiest part of your day. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Sticks and stones can break their bones, but words...
You just like your no-good daddy. You'll never be anything.
Look, man, you're either with us or you ain't. And if you ain't, you better watch your back. Boy, these grades are ridiculous. Are you stupid?
Me go out with you, you must be hidden.
Can sometimes... A reminder from Light of the World Christian Church.
When it comes to convenience, your one-stop spot is Smith's Food Mart at US 33 at Ash Road. The coffee is always hot and fresh, and the deli is open with everything from a hot breakfast to delicious subs anytime you're hungry. Need a loaf of bread, gallon of milk, some eggs, meat, or frozen foods? Find them all at your one-stop convenience spot, Smith's Food Mart, Ash and 33 at the crossroads of Jimtown. Fuel for your car and your family at Smith's Food Mart.
Today's football championship action is brought to you by Ball State University. Ball State University, everything you need. Visit their website at www.bsu.edu.
Well, on a chilly night like this, it's awfully nice to be inside, and that's where we are, downtown Indianapolis. We are in the RCA Dome. There's a look at the length of the field. There's your score, 21-0 with Penn on top. Center Grove with the football. Clock showing 8:45 to go here in the third quarter. Time, lots of it. Johnny Zwitt over the right side gets a couple of yards. But it's become very, very apparent that Center Grove is going to have trouble just moving the football, and they have had nothing successful happen to them through the air. Shelley and Thompson on the stop defensively. There is Shelley on your screen. You see Brian Bugg also on your screen. And there's the football shy of the 22-yard line.
Well, one thing that's really been consistent for Penn throughout the playoffs is their defense. They've just been so solid.
Zwitt again, left side, trying to outrun the pursuer. Dan Penrod chases him down out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Quick against quick, and Zwitt picked up just about enough for the first down, probably about a yard short.
You know, Bob, I think back to all the other Penn games that I have done over the years and Penn games I have seen. This is almost a signature ball club. They're like out of the here's the chase down, by the way. Penrod trying to catch up with Zwitt and does. It's almost like what they say, they don't rebuild, they reload. And you see a lot of similarities from year to year with the Chris Giesman ball club. Same heart, same desire. A lot of talent on the field, and where there is not talent, there's desire that overcomes it. Here is Zwitt on the right side. He will keep the ball moving, gets out to the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. Gabe Kovacs, the inside linebacker, makes the tackle.
Speaking of desire, Johnny Zwitt, one of the great players on this team, and you won't see him quit. He's a senior, 6'1", 210.
He broke the Johnson County single-season rushing record this year. It had been set back in 1960 by Millard Sutton. 1,765 yards, 16 yards on that play. He is also a finalist for the Mr. Football Award. In the backfield, not much running room left back there, and Chris Shelley touched things down in a hurry.
I can't believe Millard's been out of high school for 40 years.
Hard to believe.
We see the Penn coaching staff, and they have been together for such a long time. And they teach their system. They have two middle schools that feed into Penn High School, Schmucker and Grissom. And they work on the same formations, the same blocking assignments from 5th grade on.
Same thing with Carmel or Ben Davis and any school of any quality. You've got to have that program established down in the grades. A lot of action in the backfield. Over the near side, Eric McClurg. Zwitt, by the way, approaching the 100-yard mark. Gerchik knocks him down along with Violette. 14 carries, 86 yards. Talking about Johnny Zwitt, he was named the co-player of the year on the Indianapolis Stars Super 2000 team. Co-player of the year with a guy who's pretty good company to be in, Otis Shannon at Cathedral High School.
Wow.
So Zwitt's done a nice job, and his father is first time I'd met his father, John, at the IHSAA meetings. What a nice man he is also. Geiger under center. Geiger gives off on the near side to Zwitt again. Zwitt gets it down to the 40, inside the 40. They'll mark him down at about the 39-yard line. And David Kramer, the outside linebacker, is credited with the stop that time. Zwitt had 304 yards on the ground rushing in a game against Lawrence North on September the 8th. 26 carries, 304 yards, and 3 touchdowns in that game, Bob.
Adam Miniger checks into the lineup for the Kingsmen. And I think Chris Giesman is saying, hey, let's get some more quickness in that defensive front and that linebacker slot with Miniger. Outstanding junior, 10 yards on that run and a first down.
Ryan Maples is the lone wideout, way to the left side of the screen. Here again is that counter crisscross play. Ball in the hands this time with Matt Taylor. Kevin Violette credited with the tackle again. Taylor getting a couple of yards on that play.
Took a little long to set up that time, and Penn's defense got some pretty good depth. I'm impressed with Eric Moore and his coaching staff at Center Grove and what they're doing here. They're sticking with their guns. They're moving the ball down the field. They're moving the chains, and if they can just get on that scoreboard, there's still almost 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Well, you used the expression earlier, Bob, and I think it's still correct. You dance with who brung you. And this is what they've used all year long to run their record to 13-1. Nothing doing this time. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's just about it. Johnny Zwitt again trying to find some yardage on the ground.
Well, there you see a lot of generations of Penn fans who have seen state championships, and a couple guys here in the front row that want to be part of one. We'd be here, what, 2013 for the state championships?
I'm taking that year off.
You're kidding.
No. Witt now has hit the 100-yard mark, by the way. Will put the man in motion, fake the inside handoff. Well, they did give the ball this time. And again, I go back to a comment that I made earlier with Chris Giesman talking about the offense, the wing T offense. He said, I was watching film of it, and I couldn't keep track of it even on film of where the ball was sometimes. But I'll tell you what, his defensive pursuit by the front four in the secondary, they haven't lost track of the football. They have been very, very impressive defensively. In fact, it's 4th down now and 13 to go, and the center drove into a punting position again. Kyle Geiger will kick it away. Well, about his own 45, it'll sail deep, heading toward the end zone and into the end zone for an automatic touchback. So Penn gets the football again with 3:27 to go in the third quarter. They lead Center Grove 21-0 for the 5A state championship game. 42-yard punt, nets out at 22, and we'll stay right here and pick up the Penn Kingsman's offense. Again, no penetration to speak of for Center Grove. Their deepest penetration, Bob, has been to Penn's 24-yard line. That's as close as they have gotten in this football game.
Eric Moore has just been outstanding, and again, this is a record-setting performance to this point.
10 of 12 for 156 yards for Eric Moore. Of course, he's missed his last two because he was 10 of 10 at halftime. So we'll see what he does here as we put the ball back on the hands of the Penn Kingsmen, and Eric Moore, quarterback, number 12. Here's the pitch back deep to the right side. 3 or 4 yards out shy of the 25-yard line. Jerry McClure, the tackler that time.
Don Monhoot working with that Penn defensive unit. Again, a lot of these guys could have been head coaches in other programs, but this is a special program. And you see Dick Dullahan with the same type of coaches that have stayed around. And you got to be excited about Eric Moore and what he's brought to Center Grove, and what's going to go on there in the years to come. He's just been outstanding, and great assistant coaches. Played football at Indiana University.
Now they work the left side this time with Ian Smith. Jeremy Van Alstyne, the defensive stop that time. I talked to Dick Dullahan earlier this year when we did one of their games locally, and he introduced me at that time, Bob, to one of his assistant coaches, and he said this is a volunteer coach, which means the staff. And I said to this gentleman, I forgot his name, I apologize. I said, well, does that mean you don't get yelled at? And he said, no, Dick is an equal opportunity yeller. So it made sense to me.
Well, it's quieted down again on the Center Grove side of the field.
Movement on that offensive line from J.J. Simmons. And that'll set him back 5.
Boy, that's hard to hide out there, isn't it, J.J.? J.J. Simmons, just a junior, 6'6", 229.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
He's got some growing yet to do.
Yes.
I have to bring him to my camp this summer, get him bulked up a little bit.
Well, if anybody can bulk him up, Bob. You know, just looking down this roster here for Penn, they've got some young players on this squad. Post is a junior. Bainline is a sophomore. R.J. Jones is only a junior. They'll lose some awfully good quality players. Out of the backfield, the pass is completed this time to Ian Smith, and Smith is brought down, but he got the first down. Looking at the offensive line, all 5 of from tackle to tackle, all 5 of those players are juniors. Rochek, Keller, Pinter, Robertson, and Simmons all check in as juniors, so he's got the entire offensive line coming back next year.
Well, they've got a couple of outstanding sophomore quarterbacks in the system, Patrick Davis, Andrew Chosen, and you know, if you get behind an experienced line, Hollis Yenna is also a quarterback, and if you get behind an offensive line with some experience, all of a sudden the young quarterback can mature and learn back there. So
gives him some time to think, look for that secondary or third receiver. And no, he's not going to get his brains handed to him. Eric Moore. A little delay on the draw play. Out to the 35-yard line. Jeremy Van Alstyne again, the defensive stop. And right now, Penn is doing exactly what they want to do. They keep the ball on the ground. We're in the final minutes of the third quarter. And they're not particularly concerned about scoring right now, perhaps as much as they are just keep it there and run the clock.
When that sand's leaking out of there pretty quick for Center Grove.
Pinder comes over the ball at center. They flash Sam Penrod right down at the bottom of your screen and set a wide out likewise to the right side, right in front of the Penn bench, and put a man in motion, Ryan Kisrow. Now check it out. That's Ian Smith in motion. Here's the quarterback draw up the middle with running room and another first down for Eric Moore. And Olstein again on the stop.
Center Grove on the season with a 28-5 turnover ratio in their favor. So you like the idea maybe that they could get a turnover, except you're looking at Penn. It's 28-13 also in the turnover area. Penn has only fumbled the ball 8 times all year.
I'll tell you what, this Penn drive and the way they've done it in the methodical fashion has taken the Center Grove crowd right out of this game. We are sitting right up above and behind the Center Grove cheering section. They've got several thousand people here right now. And you could go down and carry on a very casual conversation because there's no noise coming from down there. That'll be the end of the third quarter. Did they call the penalty? Well, that should be the end of the quarter. Okay. Well, that nonetheless is the end of the third quarter. Through 3, Penn 21, Center Grove nothing for the 5A championship. Back to the fourth and final quarter in just a moment on the IHSAA television network.
Indiana, a state with great resources. Our most important, the potential of our children and the wisdom of our seniors. Unfortunately, these Hoosiers are also our most vulnerable. Indiana lawyers donate thousands of hours in legal services every year to ensure that these forgotten, often neglected citizens are allowed the same rights many of us take for granted. I'm Spence Walton, president of the Indiana State Bar Association. If you need help or know someone that does, call a lawyer. We've been helping fellow Hoosiers for over 100 years.
The new Marilat kitchens and baths really look great this year, Pat.
As always, Mark, and this year may be the best ever from Marilat and Big C. New styles, new finishes, new colors. Best of all, new lower prices for starter kitchens from $465.
And finally, Big C will install it for you if you wish, or you can install it yourself and save even more.
Marilat starter kitchens from Big C Lumber starting at just $465. Big C, we make beautiful new kitchens and baths affordable.
We're more than lumber. Big C.
The joy of life. The age of wonder. It's learning something new and falling in love. It's growing up and growing old. For every moment, there's a song. For every song, there's Shirks. Shirks Piano in the Town and Country Shopping Center, Mishawaka.
Today's Class 5A championship football game is being brought to you by Light of the World Christian Church. Light of the World Christian Church in Indianapolis.
You saw the outside of the beautiful RCA Dome tonight. Now we are inside, and let me reset this for you. The play clock ran out simultaneous with the game clock. So what they have done is put 1 second back on the clock. So this, in effect, is the final play of the third quarter. And then the break period will come. And, of course, at the time we went for our break, there were nothing but zeros on that clock up there. That has since been rectified. Now there's 1 second to go, and Penn will take the 5-yard penalty. It'll be first down and 15.
And this should be the last play of the quarter.
This, I hope, will be the last play of the quarter.
Chris Scenario is standing by with an update after this play.
Moore rolling out. Moore, one-on-one coverage upfield, and he underthrew his receiver, trying to go to Kisrow, and he was being covered upfield. All right, that is the end, officially, of the third quarter with 21-0 Penn leading Center Grove. We'll take our break and come back in a moment for the fourth and final quarter on the IHSAA television network.
Introducing the Lexus LS Platinum Series with a host of unique features, including a 2-year complimentary American Express Platinum card for benefits like preferred seating at selected fine restaurants. Now, more than ever, nothing treats you quite like a Lexus. Save $1,900 at Tom Wood Lexus.
You may not fully understand the convenience of our 24-hour customer service center. You may never have visited our interactive website or been assisted by one of our emergency response vehicles. But in times of need, the significance of our company's commitment to customer service
Farm Bureau Insurance is taking care of everything.
will be easy to grasp. For service you can depend on, call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Building a new home, remodeling, or just replacing that old appliance, you need to make that right choice. Hi, I'm Bob Miller. The right choice is making sure it's a Whirlpool or a KitchenAid appliance. After 40 years, we know they stand up better, last longer, and have fewer problems. So think Whirlpool or KitchenAid when it comes to spending your hard-earned money on that new appliance. And remember, that's Bob Miller's Appliance Company, where you even know the address by now. 1614 South Main, South Bend.
Methodist Sports Medicine Center, in partnership with Clarion Health, are the team physicians to over 20 high schools, as well as 11 colleges and the Indianapolis Colts. Call them at 1-800-SPORTS-MED. Methodist Sports Medicine Center, the official sports medicine provider of the IHSAA and the state championship events.
RCA Dome looking into the crowd of Center Grove fans. They haven't tossed in the towel just yet, despite being down by a score of 21-0 with only 1 quarter to play in this 5A championship game. Ian Smith will break free, get across midfield, down to the 43-yard line. Second, it's Jones against 30, not 20. R.J. Jones.
Good young running back for these Penn Kingsmen. Again, part of the future in that backfield.
One of the underclassmen, if you will, we talked about earlier in the telecast. That took only 7 or 8 seconds, and boom, just like that, they strike again down into scoring territory. And we say that in due respect to the defense by Center Grove. 17 yards on that rush this time. Mitch Bryce backs it way out to the top of your screen as the lone wide out. 2 tight ends. They drop the right tight end back, put him in motion. Reset to the left side. Here's the pitch back again to Jones, and Jones is caught right at the line of scrimmage by Van Alstyne. Kristen Airy is down on the field again. Chris, a comment, bud?
All right, Jerry and Bob, you remember a year ago we were here on the floor of the RCA Dome when Penn was beaten by Dick Dullahan and the Ben Davis Giants 27-3. Isn't it amazing? A year later, right now Penn has turned the tables on Center Grove, and I just wonder if Chris Giesman at all had posted that up on the board for his team to look at, remembering last year's game here in Indianapolis.
Well, he's not going to miss many tricks, so if he thought that would work, that is indeed what he did. Donay in motion, comes to the bottom of your screen. Back to pass again is Eric Moore. Moore with all kinds of trouble back there in pursuit by Van Alstyne again. Well, we called his name an awful lot here in the second half of this football game from his linebacking position.
Well, again, you get to that point at the end of the third quarter when you start looking down at yourself in uniform and thinking, boy, I tell you what, this thing could be over. And guys like Van Alstyne will probably go on to play at another level, but for a lot of these guys, this could be the last time they ever have a uniform on, and they want to go out with on a good note. There's still time, 10-15 to go, but they need some plays, and certainly when they get back on offense, they're going to have to probably throw that football, and we've seen Geiger warming up here on the sidelines, getting that arm loose.
Ian Smith resets to the left side. They thought for a moment, I thought they wouldn't run the inside handoff, but if they were, it didn't work well, and Donnie Barton was right there along with Van Alstyne. Speaking of Van Alstyne, coming into this game, his total tackles were 115. The closest player to him in total tackles is Gary McClure with 58. That gives you an indicator just how busy Van Alstyne has been in this high school football season. Now we're down to the 9.5-minute mark in the fourth quarter with Penn out in front by 3 touchdowns, 21-0. Punt formation on 4th down and 15. Nagy is deep. Nagy will get it away. Did not hit it particularly well, but It will hit about the 3 or 4 yard line and is down at the 1. Well, when it's going good, it is going good.
K-Cax made the catch, if you will, on the first bounce down there, and Chris Giesman hitching up his pants and saying, you know what? I like where we are right here. You know, we were joking at halftime about some of the comments Coach Giesman would have, but I tell you, that's why he's successful. He always treats a halftime lead like it's nothing. Doesn't matter. He's seen that happen too many times. When you've coached for 27 years, you've seen everything happen.
You've seen about everything there is to see. I said something to him when it was so cold on Monday, and I made some reference to the fact I said, boy, Chris, I said, your team plays really well in cold weather, referring to the Noblesville game because it was so cold that night. He said, well, they may play good, but I don't coach very well in cold weather. So he's got to love this indoor activity right now. Not much gainer that time for the Center Grove Trojans. Well, they have found themselves in a bad field position. And as we pointed out a couple of minutes ago, their deepest penetration has been the 24-yard line of Penn. They have had absolutely no success offensively and through the air. And Bob and I were talking a couple of moments ago during the commercial break. They've got to put it in the air, and yet they have not been successful even when they have tried. Hand off again over the right side. Just nothing there. Climbing off the deck is that big deuce number of Johnny Swift, who's been the key ball carrier. Kovacs with the tackle. There is number 56, Gabe Kovacs, the inside linebacker.
Gabe's dad was a great football player at Mishawaka Marion, made an All-State, and some of the All-America mentions, and went on to play at IU. And now coaches in the Penn system.
Third down, Center Grove is 6 of 10 on third-round conversions in this football game. They need something real good, real quick, real often. Dancing around the left side, Eric McClurg. He's out to the 10-yard line, shy of the first down. Kovacs again on the tackle, so they'll have to punt it away.
Well, I don't know. Is this the time now? Eric Moore's going to send the punt team out there. I'm going to say, is it time to put it on the line? 7:37 left to go.
And clock running. And they will send the kicking team out there. Geiger will be the punter for Center Grove. Here's a look at that play again. There just is nowhere to go. You try the outside, and the defensive unit of Penn is so fast, they get out and shut you down. You go up the middle, and they stack you about 2 deep in there. Standing about 6 yards deep in the end zone. Geiger gets the kick away. Bearcats called for at the 47-yard line. Taken up there by number 24, Sam Penrod. And again, Center Grove unable to move the football. And with the score, 21-0 Penn. It's 7:10 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll take a timeout. High school finals on the IHSAA television network.
Isn't it time somebody did something about all the violence on TV? Why not you? From St. Francis Hospital and Health Centers, leading the way to a healthier community. Looking for the perfect exercise? Consider the first one you ever tried. From St. Francis Hospital and Health Centers, leading the way to a healthier community.
You want great Honda deals? You want great Honda service? You got it at Bob Rohrman's Indy Honda.
2000 Honda Accord LX now an incredibly low $208 a month. 2000 Honda Civic with value package only $159 a month right now.
We got acres and acres of Honda.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
Your #1 Honda store in Indiana. That's Bob Rohrman, Indy Honda, US 31 South at Stop 12, Indy.
Ron's McKinley Marathon on the corner of Ironwood and McKinley is your neighborhood gas station. Offering more than just quality fuel for your car, they have full and self-serve islands, a service garage with qualified technicians, and complete towing services. Check out the cold sodas, great snacks, and friendly staff waiting to serve you. Marathon is an American company serving America, and at Ron's McKinley Marathon, they're serving Michiana. Family owned and operated. They're your neighborhood gas station. Ron's McKinley Marathon. Call them at 234-9565 for service you deserve.
Today's championship football is brought to you by Teachers Credit Union. Stop by TCU today and ask about the new TCU Visa Debit Check Card Rebate, or visit www.tcunet.com for more information. Just sign, go, and save with TCU.
All right. You know, Bob, we shouldn't be all this surprised. The Penn Kingsmen had 6 shutouts this season consecutively. 3 games, 3 through 8. They outscored their opponents 276 to nothing.
Pretty good week.
Yes.
Pretty good month.
Pretty good month is exactly what it is. Here's the quick pass out on the near side, out on the flat, and knocked out of bounds. That'll bring a stop. No, they're going to let the clock wind down. The pass is complete. Coming off the deck is 22. That's Brian Post. Robert Mullen tackles him. 6 consecutive shutouts. 276 to nothing. That is something.
And you start to see that Penn domination. We talked about one of the keys is to run the ball and run the clock, and that's just what happens. It's 21-0. You look up, you've got 6:43 to go, fourth quarter. And Jerry, in reality, we're looking at a situation now where maybe a minute and 44 seconds into the game, Penn had enough points to win this game on that 64-yard pass play.
In fact, the average score against Penn all season was 5.3 per game by the opposition. Most points allowed, 28. They lost 21 to 28 to Ben Davis. That was the highest defensive output they had all year. Running the left side, trying to turn the corner. Brian Post. He will stop the clock. McClure is there to knock him away. Penn Kingsman ranked number 3 in the AP preseason poll, number 2 by the football coaches, and they finished the season number 2 in both of those polls. Carmel, Bloomington South, Penn, Center Grove, they were all up there all season long. Here's that move to the left side again by Post.
Boy, and you would caution the Center Grove fans not to judge Eric Moore too harshly as head coach. He came in here with his game plan, what he wanted to do. He hasn't had field position. He hasn't gotten a break. Penn hasn't made a mistake. You know, he's not the only guy that's run into this buzzsaw. Last week, Noblesville found out what it was like, and he'll learn from this, and his kids will be hungry to come back here. It's been a great experience and a great season for Center Grove.
Especially, Bob, on the fact this is a club that went 5-5 last year and lost in the sectional. So they have come a long way. Now a penalty marker is down. Last year, they had 2 Division I players, a kicker, Adam Findlay, who went to Michigan, and a tight end, Aaron Halterman, who attended IU. But they did finish up 5-5 last year.
Well, the indication is that illegal procedure against
delay game on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
So it'll be first down and 15. A lot of the Center Grove fans have decided to exit. Many of them still here, of course, but got to be a disappointing situation for them because after the way they had to get in here, beating number 4 Bloomington South, number 8 Castleton, number 3 Ben Davis, they figured they were on a roll, and they were. They roll right into Penn, and this is an awfully good football team. They have 90-plus players on their roster. Trying to turn the corner, Eric Moore. Brad Beeson there and saying, Now we're at the 6-minute mark of the 4th period. Second down and long.
And now there's more room to work as a different group of receivers comes into the ball game. Penn is trying to get some people in there. Eric Larson comes on.
R.J. Jones, number 30, is out there.
Young is in there at tight end, number 86. Joshua Young.
Number 13, Eric Larson, set up on the left tight end position. And Eric Moore continues to run the team. Delay on the handoff up the middle, R.J. Jones.
Popped him pretty good that time, did the Trojans with 5:19 left to go.
The Penn Kingsmen won championships in 1995, beating Evansville North. 96, they knocked off Ben Davis. 97, they beat Bloomington South. Those were 5A championships. You go back to 83, they beat Indianapolis, Washington. The Continentals at that time were strong on the football field. They won that 4A state championship, 25-14 over Washington. They were runners-up in 89 to Carmel, 91 to Ben Davis, and 99 to Ben Davis. They have had 5 Mental Attitude Award winners, including Brad Monhout in 97. The last time they won that. Over the right side again, Kisro. Art Plenser won it in 83, Eric Klein in 89, Matt Giesman, the coach's son, in 95, Scott Becker in 96, and Monhout in 97. They have won a total of 9 state championships in football, baseball, girls golf, boys soccer, and softball.
Kisro with a good carry here. Again, a quality running back. You got to hope somebody gives this kid a chance to play at the next level. He spent literally about 7 weeks of the season well under 100%. Matter of fact, for a couple of weeks, he could barely hobble through practice with that torn hamstring. There's Chris Giesman with his coaching staff saying, hey, I want to start getting some people in there. There's Joe Sassano, the offensive coordinator. Chris Giesman with his arm around him.
Give the kids a chance to at least say, I played in that game, is probably what he is talking about right now. Clock has stopped, just under 4 minutes to go, and we have a timeout. 21-0 Penn over Center Grove for the 5A title. Back in a minute on the IHSAA television network.
Reed's has a large selection of the latest styles on quality new and pre-owned Buicks and Pontiacs. Satisfaction guaranteed with helpful salespeople, excellent service, and one great location. We want you to buy the right car at the right price. We're not satisfied till you are satisfied till you are at Reed's Buick Pontiac.
Free checking at First Source. You bet. Whether it's our basic account or with direct deposit, like a payroll or Social Security check, or by having balances that also pay you interest. First Source has a free checking account that's right for you. And our checking accounts are worry-free. With First Source Overdraft Security, we can cover you up to $500 if you happen to overdraw your account. Free checking and worry-free checking at First Source Bank.
Years of intense learning and in-depth classroom instruction. Thousands of hours of on-the-job training and apprenticeships. And why? So that you can feel safe and secure with your electricity and not even realize it's there. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 153. Call 287-8655 for your best connection.
The state capitol, an historic landmark, downtown Indianapolis, and an historic landmark as far as high school sports. Our good friends at Farm Bureau Insurance, the official sponsor of high school sports, all their sports activities. Look inside the RCA Dome. Center Grove cheerleaders still trying to keep something going. And that's going to be kind of tough on those young ladies also, because it has been all Penn with 4 minutes to go in the game.
I was going to say a big fourth down play.
Moore completes the pass. Well, that is so typical. Twice back the receiver that time. They have, when they had to get it done, even when they didn't have to, they've been able to get it done tonight. This has been a very impressive display by Penn.
Partner, speaking of impressive displays, how about our producer, Sean Decken, being Corsmo down in the truck today?
Tell you what, you know, I was thinking how tired you and I might be, but those four guys and gals have been here long before we got here, and they'll still be here and we're gone. So, yeah, we genuinely appreciate their efforts. No question about that.
11 yards on the pass play.
Here's the pitch back, turning the corner, right side.
Kistro getting a chance.
Moore is 13 of 16 now for 181 yards.
And here comes some of the clean jerseys into the game. Well, they're all clean here inside.
Yeah, I guess they are, yeah.
RCA Dome. During the regular season, you can always tell when the new guys are coming in. They got clean jerseys. Just checking in at a wide receiver slot is Brandon Morgan. 6-foot senior, split wide to the left.
Here's the pitch back to Smith. Smith trying to turn the corner, does get the corner turn and got close to first down territory with 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Gary McClure runs him out of bounds.
Well, at the completion of the game tonight, we will have our presentation of awards, and of course the Phil Enescu Award will be presented. Always a big honor. And we'll talk with some of our outstanding players. Boy, right now for Penn, you got to look at the total defense, and Eric Moore on offense. They've been outstanding.
Very, very impressive. Donay set wide to the right side at the bottom of your screen. Up the middle again to near the 10-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground now. Let's swing down to the field with 2:05 to go in this fourth quarter. Get a comment from Chris Denari.
Well, guys, as the clock winds down, Chris Giesman is close to winning his 5th state championship, of course, all with the Penn Kingsmen. There are 2 gentlemen in Indiana that have won 6. Larry Bud Wright at Sheridan, and Dick Dullahan has won his state championships at 2 schools at Ben Davis and Carmel. So just 2 coaches ahead of him, Larry Bud Wright and Dick Dullahan, both of those coaches still active. And there are a lot of people, guys, that say that Chris Giesman is a couple of years away from having a great football team. Apparently, the sophomore class at Penn is supposed to be one of the best. So don't be surprised if we see the Penn Kingsmen continue to be a regular here at the RCA Dome.
Well, you were talking about Bud Wright. I'm telling you, there's a guy who could get the job done likewise at his school. Chris, thank you for a very, very strong effort on that sideline today, trying to keep track of what was going on down there, and it gave us an extra body if we had a question about an injured player or whatever. And Chris has done a marvelous job, as we've come to expect from him.
Chris will be having a great season coming up with the Butler Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah. He's already got him in the NCAA tournament. And
he was bragging about him before the game today.
Yeah. I think he's one of the players.
Chris Giesman walking the sidelines. Boy, you just never know when you're going to win one of these, and he's savoring every moment right now.
Well, apparently a procedure called again because there was still plenty of time on the play clock.
Good ball, 71.
They're yelling numbers now.
That's a little bit of a change. Normally don't do that in the high school or college.
Chris Giesman just said, hey, run the play. You know, you're looking there at Eric Moore, the head coach of Center Grove. Obviously, he's disappointed, and he'll take this performance home with him and work on it. But you know what it'll do? It'll make him hungry, and he'll be hungry to get back here.
Absolutely. Whoa! Stuck right at the 15-yard line. That is a big-time hit by Jeremy Van Alstyne again.
And welcome to varsity football, Ryan Takacs, who got a carry there. 5'9" running back, a senior. Doesn't play a lot, but he's there every day at practice. And Chris Giesman wanted to give these guys a chance to carry the football and be a part of this thing. Big thing here is you hang on to the football. Got it put away. Turns upfield, and Alstyne says, hey, by the way, we're a pretty good football team. And they have been.
Thank also Dennis and David Casey for their help in the statistical department today, for doing a remarkable job of keeping track of things, and Dennis down on the field trying to corral people for us likewise.
Tell you what, Dennis is a picture of sartorial splendor today, isn't
it? I'll tell you, is that rental or is it his? Yeah. Man, it is nice.
Got to have it back by 9.
I'm surprised we didn't have some trade outs for the for that sartorial splendor. And that's good looking stuff.
You know, we also want to thank our good friend Joe Pate, all the great job, all the great work that he does, and he's been such an important part of this tournament for so many years. Joe, thank you. And we also want to thank Keith Passon down here at WHMB in Indianapolis.
Saw Keith earlier. Tim Borf sitting between you and me here. Boy, he's had a heck of a day with numbers also. We appreciate that. Keith was here. He come up and said howdy, and we appreciate that very much. I said, are you working? He said, no, just come to watch. In the end zone, the pass is intercepted, but I saw a marker come down, I thought, or was it just the white beanbag? I think it's a marker. I think it's a marker, and if it is, it's going to be, I believe, defensive pass interference. Ryan Skelton was the defender for Center Grove in that area, but we'll wait and see what they call. It's kind of a moot point right now with a minute 43 to go and a 21-0 lead for Penn. Nope, they got clipping against. Oh, there you go. There's your pass interference. Offset.
Let's replay the down.
Yep, let's do it again.
Which gives us a chance to thank Chuck Huffman, our production director, with We'll See Broadcasting, our president Pete Summerall, and all the folks who we got to thank. Kevin Bassett, who was a big part of our pre-production for all of our telecasts.
And those were, I'll tell you what, those halftime pieces that you guys did were remarkable. And we appreciate the cooperation of the coaches that and the players that participated in those. You guys did a really super job on those things.
That was a lot of fun. Howard Kelman and
John Fox
for all their great work yesterday. A lot of people coming together. Jeff Elliott, our production manager down here at WHMB in Indianapolis. Tireless. And I tell you, his buffet line was pretty good today.
It was. Anything you want, we've got it back there behind him. Quick slant over the left side. Back close to the original line of scrimmage. They'll climb off the bottom of the pile down there. And
J.J. Simmons helping Eric Moore up, and I think Eric might be going to the sidelines as the seniors will get a chance to take a bow.
Justin Smith is listed as the backup to Eric Moore, also a senior. We'll see if indeed that is the case, although it's a 4th down situation. No need to punt. Just go ahead and run the play. And Penn is going to come away with another state title. Chris Giesman out on the field talking to his players with this timeout scenario.
You know, one of the points that Chris Giesman said, we were talking to him last week, was that, you know, this isn't like defending a championship or winning another one. This is winning your own. He talks to each class about the fact that you're part of this tradition, but you have to go out and win yours. And this one means everything in the world to this team that's on the field here. Yeah, it's part of a great tradition, but this is the one that you can say, this was our championship in the year 2000. And boy, you look at that Center Grove team, and they know what it took to get here to this point. And as we heard Bill Sharp say yesterday in our halftime feature, the only difference between a championship and a great season is it's extended by another week or two. It doesn't change the fact that this was a great year for this football team.
Moore, 13 of 16. He is still in the game, by the way. 13 of 16 for 181 yards passing. At one time at halftime was 10 for 10. Pitch back deep. Turning the corner. R.J. Jones inside the 10 down to the 7. Now here comes a whole new unit on the field for Penn. Everybody coming in, everybody going off, of course, defensively. And
there's a little celebration going on now on the sidelines.
Yep.
Penn offensive unit. Eric Moore. Could you dream about winning a state championship at Penn when you were a freshman at Marion?
Well, that's something.
Congratulations, Eric. His father, Wally, or his grandfather, Wally Moore, was a offensive line coach at Notre Dame under Eric Parsegian. Great tradition. And I tell you what, I have had an opportunity to see him murder people with that arm since he was in 4th grade. He's just been an outstanding athlete. Wes Doy, Joe Sassano, Eric Klinger. Well, what a great coaching staff at Penn. That's like, to be a coach at Penn is sort of like having Notre Dame football season tickets. The only way you move in is if somebody died.
Yep. Now, the Center Grove coaching staff, I'm sure, is somewhat disappointed. But when you have a 5-5 season to turn around and come back and come into the state championship game 13-1 and beat the teams that they beat in the tournaments, you've got to be pretty proud of your ball club. And quite simply, what they ran into today was another buzzsaw in the form of Penn's Kingsman. This would be their 7th shutout of the season. And if you put these 21 points on the board in those 7 games, they have outscored their opponents 297 to nothing.
127 left to go, and there is the leader of this offense for Center Grove. Geiger has not had his best game.
No.
And they needed him to have a great game because you're playing a great football team, but doesn't mean he hasn't competed. He's gone out there taking his licks.
Or has Johnny Zwitt, McClurg, people like that.
There's John Kovach with his son. That's a proud moment there. John Kovach played on 2 undefeated teams at Marion High School.
So 90 seconds away from another championship. Here's the flea flicker, back to throw, long distance pass. It is caught. It's field and chased down at the 40-yard line. Little razzle dazzle, thank you very much, to Eric McClure. Penrod finally gets him down. So Eric Moore says, I got a trick in my bag over here. Let's try this now. Watch it. Here it comes. Here's the handoff. Then turned around and pitched it back to the quarterback, Geiger. And Geiger throws this thing about 3 yards deep in the end zone. And I mean, he put some arm on this thing.
I'm happy for him. That's his first completion of the ball game, I believe. It comes in the game's final moments, but
51 yards. And you're right, that's the first pass completion by Center Grove in this entire contest.
They're averaging 51 yards per completion.
Per completion. Trips to the right. They come out this way. Here's the penalty marker down. The pass is complete to Johnny Zwitt. Zwitt runs out of bounds. Run out of bounds by Penrod. Penalty marker came early.
I'm not sure they had enough men on the line of scrimmage. Again, when you go with these special formations, it's tough because you only practice them a couple times, maybe at the end of practice, and when they line up, it's a tough situation. Eric Moore, nice job, Eric.
Illegal procedure, only 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
You called it, Buck.
penalty.
Sam Penrod with another good stop. Boy, he's been special again.
Well, you suggested in the outset of our telecast that he would be one of the guys to keep an eye on, and that's been the case. 52 seconds to play. Fourth quarter. Penn on its way to another state championship.
Lost the shoe.
And a penalty marker down again. Geiger literally chased out of his shoes by Blake Heberly. And a penalty marker against Center Grove. I believe they'll call intentional grounding on Geiger.
We said a few minutes ago, can it get any worse after that punt came down at the 2-yard line? And boy, anything that can go wrong has and continues to. I just feel so bad for Eric Moore. It's almost getting laughable now. You see him pat the official on the back. Right now, he's got to be hoping the bus will start.
Yeah. Yep. His 2-year record at Center Grove will be 17-7 overall, 6 years, 83-14. Nice man. We'll talk with him on Monday. Very enthusiastic. Loves the game, obviously, and I'm sure is disappointed, but can set some goals up for next year for these Trojans. Pass is complete to Eric McClurg, and McClurg gets out to the midfield stripe.
When Geiger took a pop back there at about the 25-yard line.
Adam Sobecki, there's a name we haven't called today. Back up inside linebacker, makes the tackle.
Some of these guys might even have to shower now.
20 seconds to go. They send 4 receivers wide to the left, way out of your screen. And this could be the final play of the game. There's a penalty marker down. The pass is incomplete. And again, I got to believe it's an illegal formation. They just don't have enough people on the line of scrimmage, I've got to believe. That's tough to do sometimes when you're running those strange formations.
Well, Center Grove not going down without some imagination here in the game's final moments.
There's a look into the stands across the way. The Penn Kingsmen out of Mishawaka will throw it a 14-1 on the year, and the crescendo begins to build.
Well, fellas, you got yours.
Eight seconds to go in the football game. Geiger looking over the near sideline, wanting a play called in. They'll throw one in there to him now. He'll bring it up to the line of scrimmage. Going to have to hustle. Play clock is down to 5 seconds here. And they'll get the play away, and that should be the final play of the game. And appropriately enough, in the hands of Johnny Zwitt. Zwitt comes near side. Zwitt racing to the end zone. Zwitt is pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line, and that's the ball game.
Well, what a nice call at the end of the game. Give the ball to Johnny Zwitt.
Yep.
Well over 100 yards. He had a solid game. He'll get nothing but handshakes from the Kingsmen. A lot of respect for this team from Center Grove.
Well, he ripped his chin straps down. I think it would have meant something to Center Grove, Bob, if they could have just scored in this football game.
Guess who knocked him out of bounds? Sam Penrod was down there again.
What a great game Penrod played. There's Zwitt. That's how he feels, and I think that probably reflects the feeling of the entire community. There's a meeting of Eric Moore and Chris Giesman. Well, we'll take a break, and then we'll come back, get a chance to talk to the coaches and soak up some of this post-game ceremony. Final score for the 5A title, Penn 21, Center Grove nothing, on the IHSAA television network.
Why does it take those internet and 1-800 companies so long to process a claim?
When will my car be ready? As soon as we hear from your insurance company.
It's because of the red tape. With Exclaim Claim Service from Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, there is no red tape. You can even choose to have your car towed to an Exclaim body shop, so you can be back on the road again in no time.
What are you telling me?
I'm still waiting to hear from corporate headquarters.
Call your Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent.
At Marsh, we're known for freshness and great value. But do you know what we're most proud of? We're proud to be part of what makes this community great. If it's good for families, Marsh is there.
Mr. McCarthy Insurance at 7th and West in Mishawaka is ready to serve you. For over 40 years, Mr. McCarthy Insurance has provided quality protection with unparalleled service to area families with home and auto insurance and custom business coverage focused on your needs. Located at 7th and West in Mishawaka, the professional associates at Mr. McCarthy Insurance are ready to serve you. Call 259-5622. Quality protection, unparalleled service. Mr. McCarthy Insurance.
Well, the handshakes all around. There's the Victoria side of the football field. Here, the north side of the RCA Dome. The Penn Kingsmen come away with a 21-0 victory. They pick up another state championship. And quite honestly, Bob Nickel, they did it in very impressive fashion against a very good Center Grove football team.
Well, and the one thing that really stood out among the 10 teams in the finals this weekend was the Penn defense. They had just been outstanding, and literally now we can look back at minute 44 into the game, 64-yard touchdown pass, 7 points. All they needed to win the game. They tacked on a couple more touchdowns. Obviously ran out a lot of the clock with their play calling. Eric Moore was outstanding, and the defense, you give them a lead and you let them tee off, put their ears back, and they just went after Center Grove tonight. Center Grove got a performance. You know, you hold Penn to 21 points offensively. You've done a pretty good job defensively. You just couldn't get on the scoreboard. And I don't know, it's tough to, you don't ever want to second guess a coach because obviously he knows his playbook better than we do. But in the final minutes of the game, a little bit of razzle-dazzle and excitement. Maybe you just got to take your shot against a team like Penn and see what you can do. But they've got nothing to be ashamed of at Center Grove. What a great, great season. Our congratulations again to Coach Eric Moore. I'm going to get a chance to talk to the other Eric Moore here in just a moment. How about Kristen Airy? What a job he did. He caught 3 passes today for 27 yards. He's the only thing he didn't do down there.
Chris has Eric Moore, the quarterback for Penn, at the sideline now. Let's go down to Chris.
Thanks, guys. With the winning quarterback, Eric Moore, the Penn Kingsman. Eric, congratulations.
Thanks. What a great season. What a moment.
What is this for you? You moved into the school district. Here you have your coach, Chris Giesman, here. What's it like to be a Kingsman?
It's excellent. This program, and it's the best program in the state. These guys really, they work their butts off. It's a great team.
You threw the ball very efficiently in the first half. You were 10 of 10 in the first half. Talk about the first touchdown pass that got you guys on the board.
Well, the first half receivers they just did a great job pulling the ball down. And that first one, Sam, he's made big plays all day, all year long. He just made another one today.
What does this mean for Penn? You're a newcomer to Penn, but what's it mean to be back here and win another state championship?
Well, it's great to keep improving on what they've been doing, and, you know, they got a tradition here, and it's just great to keep on doing what they're doing.
All right, congratulations, Eric.
Thanks.
We're going to bring in the head coach, a Hall of Famer here, Chris Giesman, your 5th state championship.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm really proud of this team. There's never been a team that I've coached that deserved a championship anymore in this group. They've done everything we've asked plus, and had great leadership and a very fun group to work with.
You did it in very dominating fashion tonight.
Well, I don't know. We tried to run some clock in the second half, and we lost our concentration a little bit. But, I mean, the defense, when the other team doesn't score, it's hard to lose.
Talk about your quarterback, Eric Moore, a newcomer to the Penn Kingsmen. Talk about his play.
Well, he was kind of sad about moving out to our place. I hope this makes it up to him. But he liked where he was before, and but he's made a lot of friends, and without him, I don't think we'd have been here.
Coach, finally, before I let you go back with your team, how much does it mean to your program to have been here before, to have tasted victory? You were here a year ago. Did that make it easier?
Well, we've been lost before trying to find a dome. This year we've made it easily.
All right. Thank you very much. Coach Chris Giesman now. Our SQ Award winner, Justin Smith from Penn High School, is going to come and join me. Justin, double victory for you, an individual award, as well as a great state championship. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is a great honor, and it's a perfect ending for today is my birthday as well, so I'm just really happy about everything right now. This is great.
You guys were here a year ago, and we're on the other end of the scoreboard, 27-3 loss against Ben Davis. How much did that stick with you as you came to Indianapolis today?
That was definitely a motivating factor. It was always in the back of our minds to always push us during the summer workouts up to this point, and we just made the most of it tonight.
All right, congratulations, Justin.
Thank you very much.
All right, the triumvirate, Chris Giesman, Eric Moore, Justin Smith, the Penn Kingsmen win their 5th state championship. They've been here 5 out of the last 6 years, and they've come away with 4 state titles in that period. It's been great to work with you guys down here on the sidelines all day long. Back to you up in the booth, Bob and Jerry.
All right, thank you, Chris. Bob, you made a comment about Justin Smith a few minutes ago. I think we should reiterate pass along to our fans out there. What's the story on this young man?
Well, you're looking at a phenomenal young man, and going into this season, prior to Eric Moore moving into the Penn District, he was going to be the quarterback. He was the heir apparent to this team, and a lot of people look at him as a great leader. Eric Moore came in, won the job, and got nothing but support from his teammate. And there's a lot of great coaches have asked over the years, what have you done to help us win a championship? And sometimes it's as simple as I remember Ned Bolkart at Notre Dame was a captain, didn't play because Mike Stonebreaker came back. And the fact that was okay, the fact that you can love each other and be teammates, it's a powerful thing. And Justin Smith, a big contributor to this championship.
He has contributed indeed to another state championship for Penn. Final 21-0, favor of Penn over Center Grove. Final thoughts coming up in just a moment on the Indiana High School Athletic Association Television Network.
Okay, class, tomorrow night is college night. Think about your needs.
I need a well-respected degree.
I need to explore.
I need a ticket to the world.
Ball State University, everything you need.
Hi, I'm Kelly from Bazzi Honda. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the all-new, completely redesigned 2001 Honda Civic. The new Honda Civics have a more powerful engine with 10% better gas mileage, ultra-low emissions, more interior and trunk room, it's quieter, and your first tune-up is not due until 100,000 miles. See us at Bazzi Honda, Grape Road, Mishawaka, for the all-new Honda Civic, where we make it just that simple.
Just a moment to congratulate all the champions in Class A, Adams Central, AA, Evansville, Mater Dei, AAA. It was Heritage Hills winning today, and in 4A, the winner, East Noble, and of course the 5A title goes to Penn. Bob Nagel, as always, a pleasure to be with you and work with you, my friend. Any final thoughts on this, not just this game, perhaps the entire high school football tournament?
You know, the thought that runs through your mind is thank you to all the coaches who are dedicated and work so hard to put these programs together, the administrators, the people along the way that make this such a great tournament. We didn't draw 40,000 people to this arena over the last 2 days because it's one team or everybody here represents the whole area they came from, the playoffs all the way down the road. The people who, you know, Warsaw is rooting for Penn tonight. They lost to them 10-7. Maybe that's as close as anybody was going to come. Yeah. But they're home tonight in Warsaw saying, you know what, we're proud of the Penn Kingsmen. They won the state championship. Ben Davis, proud of this team from Center Grove here tonight. It's everybody working hard to create something that's wonderful. It's a good feeling. It's a good feel activity, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Absolutely right. Medals being handed out now to the runner-up Center Grove Trojans. In a moment, they'll go across the field and hand out the championship medals and trophy to the Penn Kingsmen. Our congratulations to all the participants and all of the champions, and thanks again to our crew for a wonderful long day of hard work. Jerry Baker speaking for everyone else involved with our telecast, saying good night from the RCA Dome.
You're watching LaCie Broadcasting, WHME TV 46, South Bend.